This is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. And I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air. In West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where I spent most of my days. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool and all shooting some ball outside of the pool with a couple of guys who were up to no good. Started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight and my mom got scared and said, "You're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air." I whistled for a cab and when it came near, the license plate said freshen it and dice in the mirror. If anything, I could say that this cat was rare, but I thought, man, forget it. Yo, home to Bel Air. Up to the house about 7 or 8, and I yelled to the cabbie, "Yo, home, smell you later." Once in my kingdom, I was finally there.
Welcome, everyone. So y'all know we've been talking about this for a while. Um, I grew up on the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, and I was really enjoying um, the what do you call reimagining of it of Bel Air. This is how you do a show when you want to redo something, when you want to repackage it, represent it. This is like a blueprint of how you're supposed to do this, and I am completely here for it. Like this is how you put a show out there. And y'all drop in the comments, how did y'all feel about Bel Air? This was season 4, um, series finale. We have 4 seasons of it. Now season 3, I ain't really like that much, but I feel like season 4 they picked it back up, and they really brought it back to the fans who were a fan of the original show. Like if y'all gonna recreate something, y'all need to repackage it and present it in a way for the nostalgia from the fans from the start. So come on in, hit like, hit subscribe on everybody's channel. Y'all know I'm not here by myself, so I'm going to start bringing the other ones up from the background. We are going to start with Candy. Candy, how you doing?
Hey, Kay. Hey, everybody. Kay, I love that intro, girl. Yeah, I was feeling it.
Thank you. How did you feel about season 4 and the spinoff? I wouldn't even call it a spinoff. I just call a reimagining of
Mhm.
Bel Air as a whole. How do you think that they did?
As you said in the intro, it was the hey, how else could it be done other than this way? I wouldn't expect anything else from the creators with Will's input for it to be this way. It was totally different. However, they still stuck to the plot points. I enjoyed it. I really did. This was the best way to do it. Give us what we want, and they did, and I
Hmm.
appreciate it. I wish we could have got it a little longer, but I enjoyed it. I really did.
So did I. But these days they don't be want to give people but like 4 to 8 episodes of stuff. That 10 would be pushing it these days.
Right,
10
right,
is
right, right.
pushing it.
And I
Um,
understand, attention spans are shorter these days. I get it, but I do think we could have gotten a little bit more. We could have got at least 6 seasons out of this.
they could, or at least a little bit more episodes in the season, because I definitely feel like there are some things that we could have put in there that we did not.
Yeah, yeah.
They
Some things could have been flushed out a little more, but.
right, but time constraints when they tell you got like 5 episodes, 6 episodes,
Yeah.
it's and then they only want to fit it in an hour length. But I definitely feel like there's some things that could have been in there a little bit more. But overall, when we say we want something reimagined and re-given to us like a remake,
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think that this was a really good job. They did a good job
Yes.
of really paying tribute to the original series and making it fit in these times.
Yes. 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 Yep.
Let's see, because we have more backstage. Tamika, How you doing this Sunday? And tell us how your feelings about Bel Air and as a series overall and this season.
Hey, everybody. What is going on? Happy Sunday. I pretty much have the same sentiments as, what you guys was just saying. I liked Bel Air, and it was funny because I was like, because y'all know I get annoyed with the remakes and the reimaginings. I'll be like, why do we need this? Why y'all don't have no original ideas? So I was kind of skeptical. But then when I started watching it, they pulled me in. I loved it. I was like, okay, if you're going to do it, then this is how you should do it. I was pleasantly surprised. And then they ticked me the hell off with how they put out the episodes in season 3. Season 3 was kind of like my least favorite. 1 and 2 was a little stronger for me. And then I was really disappointed with hearing that this was going to be the last season. I felt like we could have at least got 5 seasons out of this, if not just pretty much what y'all was saying, like even add on, make it 10 episodes as opposed to 8. And also, while we doing the 3-2-3, I literally remember us being backstage discussing it, like, I hope they don't put the episodes out the same way. I hope we're not going to have a time jump. And that's exactly what they did, what I didn't want. So I kind of feel like that's why I didn't really rush to watch it, because I actually just binged the whole thing literally yesterday. Well, half the day before and half yesterday, but I kind of waited, and I also think I just didn't want it to end. So when all the episodes was dropping and everybody else was talking about it, I was like, all right, I'll get to it. And, I didn't want to see it go. It was kind of a slow start for the first half for me, but then the last half, child, I was emotional. I was tearing up. I'm like, no, don't leave us. This is such a great cast.
It is. That's the one thing they got right.
Yes.
With the acting. And the set design was put together really, really well. They had a good team behind them. The wardrobe design, it also made us feel like we knew who the characters were even by just how they dressed, because they mirrored the 90s version of the characters, but in today's times. And I really love how they put that. Like they really immersed us into Bel Air, but in this generation, they did really good about that. And I'm glad they did a good vetting system with their cast, because I don't feel like anybody's acting was falling. I feel like everybody came with it with their skills. Nobody had to like fill in or pick anybody up. We know Jabari definitely, shined on his own, but he definitely had a good cast behind him. I think they did really well. Before we get into the episode, we'll have I think EJ will be joining us in a little bit. So before we start into season 4, I want to highlight just a couple of things here. And I may not have all of them, okay? I may not have everything that is here, but some things that stood out to me that they paid homage to for the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. So we finally got the Carlton dance this season.
Yes, I loved it.
We got the handshake several times in this series, like with Will and Carlton, Will and Jazz. That we got the old school handshake. Let's see, what else did we get? We got OG Aunt Viv, the first Aunt Viv, because we've seen the second Aunt Viv in previous seasons, but they brought back like the OG Aunt Viv here. They brought back Tyra Banks, who was actually the OG Jackie.
Yes.
From the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. We have Will and Carlton doing that one dance that I just find freaking hilarious. And I'm glad that they put this in here. I actually loved that moment. It's one of the highlights of the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. And y'all know when that song come on, they'll play that song in the club and everybody starts.
Okay. And we do still yet. I mean, I don't go to the club now, but even at parties and things, we still would do that. We're gonna do that dance. Okay. Yes. Thanks to Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Yes.
Exactly. It don't matter. If we know, millennials, if we hear this song, we know what we're supposed to do.
Okay, where we at? If we're at the grocery store, I ain't gonna tell no story doing it.
Exactly.
Okay.
We know how we're supposed to act. And then one that I haven't seen anybody talk about, and I feel, and I need some more people to have caught this. When they were doing their prom proposals, and Eli was singing to Ashley, and with his little promposal, he
Yes.
sung a little piece of the song that Ashley Banks sung in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when she was on that stage, and
Yep.
Will and Carlton was dancing behind her, being her backup
Uh-huh.
dancer. He like sung like a few bars from that song, and I'm like, did nobody else catch that from me?
Yes.
Or was I just all up in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air like I wrote the show? Y'all let me know. Tamika, was there any other little nods to the OG show that you found? And if so, what was your favorite little details that they added in from the original?
I love the dance. I was in here so hyped. My son ran upstairs like, Mom, really looking at the TV, looking at me. I was like, okay, y'all, go ahead, get it. And even I think at one point Viv was joining Ashley and oh God, why am I forgetting her name, y'all? Y'all know I be getting
Oh
brain
yeah,
fog.
and Hillary, you
And
right.
Hillary, yes, and you know, I think she started getting some pain, but she was doing a little bit of the OG dance in there. I said, okay, and I love seeing the original Don Dada, okay, on Viv come through. I was smiling from ear to ear. I really was.
Oh yeah, I definitely forgot about that one. Yeah, she pregnant belly and all. She said, "I'm gonna get a couple steps. I might not do the whole thing. You can get a couple steps in there." Y'all in the chat, drop down your favorite nods to the OG show, and did I miss any of them? If I missed them,
and also
them paying homage, let me know in the chat.
Yeah. Also, when at the end, when Tyra and Aunt Viv were talking, they did what Tyra and Will did in the book.
Oh no, you not.
Yes.
Oh yes, I am.
Yeah. Damn.
Yes.
I said yes. Yeah. Yep. I enjoyed it because it did have to be Will and a female doing it. It worked with Tyra coming in doing it with whomever. You know, it worked perfectly. This was perfect. I wouldn't ask for anything else.
Yeah, we did the moms club. I remember that.
Yes. And they was trying to be shady. And when Carlton and Amara went to, shall we go into the chapel? I was like,
that was yep. That was one.
But please don't do it. Don't do it.
Now this wasn't in the OG show, but I feel like it was a nod to just pop culture in general, because and it's funny because people don't like Will and Jada have a media company called Westbrook Media, and they're the ones who produce Bel-Air. Like Bel-Air is Will and Jada's show. And when Ashley was telling Hillary and Jazz, like, oh, y'all should get together and come up with a business called Edible Entanglements, I'm just like, oh, y'all trying to be funny. And the thing is, it's funny because it's like, we know this is Will and Jada's show. And
I heard that, but I didn't pay that any attention.
Yeah. And they're like, we're okay with y'all laughing at us. That's fine. Y'all still gonna watch this show from our production company. We still gonna get our coins regardless. So
Indeed.
Exactly. Again, y'all drop in the chats if y'all found some little things in the show that we didn't see, because I'm pretty sure there are tons of, especially throughout the years of the show in general, there were a lot of nods to the OG show. So y'all let us know, and maybe they'll come up like as we're going through all the different characters in the show. Oh yeah, the Philly, that's a good one too. The Philly b-ball player that was trying to clown Carlton. Yeah. That's a good one.
Okay. I got it now. Okay, cool.
Well, y'all, again, if y'all ain't seen season 4, this is gonna be a spoiler review. So if you don't want to know what's going on, put us to the watch later list, because we're gonna talk about all the details of the show. It is going to be heavily spoiled because this is it, y'all. No more Bel-Air after this. So we got to talk about it all the ways in which we can. So we are going to start with Hillary. And we're going to go through each character and talk about their presence in the show this season. And I kind of did it by the things that they were struggling with, because I don't know if y'all noticed, but it was something I definitely picked up on. Everybody had their own little individual struggle happening this season. It wasn't somebody being there to kind of be a support system to what somebody else is going through. Everybody had their own little personal struggles this season, which is definitely why they could have gave us at least, 10, 12 episodes. They really could have stretched this thing out.
They was going through it, honey.
Exactly. Everybody was having stuff. And so we'll start with Hillary, who was going through grief this season. At the end of season 3, and see, y'all know from watching the OG show, y'all knew, and y'all thought just because they changed his name that LaMarcus wasn't going to meet his end just because they didn't name him Trevor. But they went and got married. At least they made it to the altar this time. That was more than what, the old Hillary got through. Made it to the altar, honeymoon. LaMarcus got heart problems because last season he had passed out one time. Made it to the honeymoon. Season 3, LaMarcus is gone. And now Hillary is feeling guilty about it. Like, they just got married. They're newlyweds. And I feel like she has some guilt, not just because she lost her husband so quickly. She is dealing with the guilt of not being on top of his health condition, because she knew that he had health issues previously, and she is blaming herself for not kind of being more aware of his health problems, and also because of the feelings that she had for Jazz, and she's letting all of her guilt snowball into this grief to the point where she's just like, I gotta get away. Hillary's like, I gotta go. And then she comes back home, and little sister is like, I know you going through some things, Hillary, but I need you too. Like, I need my big sister. I have things going on. Mom is pregnant, and the boys are graduating, but like there's nobody really tuned into what's going on with me, and you are my person and you're not here. And then she starts noticing that her mom is having some issues within the pregnancy, and that kind of makes her a bit anxious, because she's just like, nobody else is going to lose their life because of health complications on my watch. So she gets hyper vigilant about her mom and her health issues. I would have liked to see the season wrap up with her and Jazz being together, but they left room in the end to show that there is room for them to find their way back to each other. I'm just glad that she stopped taking out her anger on him, because at the end of the day, like, why you don't have to be as mad at Jazz. He didn't ruin anything for you. She was just grieving, and he even understood that, because Jazz is such a good person. He's like, I know what you was going through. I'm not even gonna sweat none of that, but I'm here whenever you come back around. Candy, how did you feel about Hillary, her grief, her guilt, and trying to find her place within trying to be that person within the family, even while she's dealing with her own emotional baggage?
I appreciated them bringing it in, because it's true. It's a true thing. It's real life, what we deal with day to day. You can be young, old, and have someone pass away due to heart conditions. And it doesn't matter what type of lifestyle you live. You can be like him. He was a football player. He should have been, in tip-top shape with his health and heart or whatever. But sometimes there's some things that you just cannot help. And I can't remember exactly what he had going on, but it's real life that, we do have these issues. And we've had a lot of football players pass away for heart conditions, either on the field. We saw that in real life maybe 2 or 3 years ago up in New York. Young guy passed. Not, he didn't pass away, but he almost did. Even high school kids have heart issues. So I appreciate them pointing that out. With Hillary wanting to become health conscious overall by, I think she went to Costa Rica. I appreciated them putting that in, because, and we talk about this with another show where they don't pay attention to Black women. And I appreciated her being an advocate for her mom, because her mom really wasn't advocating for herself like that. But Hillary was like, no, if you see something, say something. If something is not right, talk to them. Nobody knows your body like you. So I appreciated them adding that part in because that's real. But I enjoyed Hillary, even though she wasn't in the season a whole lot. I do enjoy and appreciate the things that she did bring to us.
Same, me too. Real quick, how you feel about her and Jazz?
I didn't care for LaMarcus. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't care for him as a character. I didn't care that I didn't care. I didn't give like Tamika. I didn't give a damn. I wish she could have explored Jazz for real. But I appreciated the ending. So we still know that, like you said, there's a window of opportunity that they still would get together. At least still be friends, if nothing else.
Yes, I don't want to speak to the ill of the dead, R.I.P. LaMarcus, but I wasn't here for LaMarcus either. I wasn't here for it. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm Team Jazz. Maybe I'm just biased, but I'm Team Jazz. That we don't often see a good portrayal of really good Black men on TV sometimes. Jazz was there for the Banks family. Like, he was a good mentor and friend to Will, and he was a good partner to Hillary. Like, she was just all over the place with her emotions, and he was like really grounded. He was really understanding. He was really compassionate. Always present. He was always present and always reliable.
Yeah, and I appreciate them for doing him that way because, of course, the other Will. Shoot, what's his name? Jazz wasn't that.
Right.
He was really like aloof. Like, he was. I don't know what he was. I don't know. He was just careless, I say. He didn't really have anything going on, but I do appreciate that with this Jazz.
Yes, we got so much more depth from this Jazz. So much more. Tamika, give us your thoughts on Hillary. Her grieving for LaMarcus, her and Ashley, and then her hypervigilance with her mom and her health.
Yeah. I felt bad for her. Like, I can understand it because my other half, he died for complications with his heart, and it's something that happens a lot. And he looked like a healthy person, like piggybacking off of what Candy was just saying. They can be athletic, it can be young. There's really no biases where that's concerned, and we do see it, with athletes and football players and things of that nature. And it came out of nowhere. She thinking they gonna have their whole rest of their life with them. Now, I know we didn't have time. I would have kind of liked to see her really, have her reaction like right after this is happening, and them we didn't have time for all that, but I would have liked a little bit more depth into that part. But it was like, okay, obviously she's still grieving, and like you already mentioned, she's feeling guilty because she felt like she was doing whatever with Jazz, and she left him and then went back to him, and now he's gone. And of course that's gonna make her more aware. And like when you get sick or you see somebody sick and you lose somebody, I've been on both sides of that. Now you're more aware for yourself and for your other loved ones because you're scared of losing anybody else. So coming back home and hearing that her mom has this scare, and it's like, okay, let's get into this and find out what's going on with you. I want to give you all these healthy things. Baby, I had a cousin of mine that was driving me crazy just recently. I said, okay, girl, like, we gonna be healthy, but we ain't gonna be, overdoing this. But that it's all love. And also, like, the good and the bad side sometimes of social media, with getting up there and expressing what was happening. She actually was able to get insight from other people where it's like, hey, that happened to me too. So we could kind of narrow this down and figure out what is going on. And, again, them showing Black women in healthcare. Definitely been talking about that and seeing that a lot lately. So I like that they were showing all those different aspects. But baby, when she came out her face to Jazz, I said, Hillary, no, girl. No, this is not his fault. This is not what this is about. That's not what we about to do. I was getting pissed for her at that point. But I still understood, and I'm glad that he understood, Yeah, I like how they did that. Because it is definitely real life.
And, and Hillary wasn't in the season as much because she was in Costa Rica. But every time she was on screen, they made her moments count.
Yes.
and let us know that she is a valued member within the Banks family. And also Hillary and Bel-Air had much more depths than in the sitcom. So I
Yeah,
appreciate even a much more
absolutely. Yeah.
fleshed out
And
Hillary.
I did like her and Ashley's relationship. That's the funny thing, because Ashley worked my damn nerves all throughout, child. But I love the fact that, she knows she could go to her big sister. They can have that conversation.
Yeah.
She can lean on her, and she gonna be real with her and honest with her. That kind of made me think about me and my little sister. So yeah. But Ashley by herself, child, well, I'm sure we'll get to it.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely will. I think do I have that? Yep, definitely have her up here next. Now, personally, me, this is one of the characters that I actually like more in the sitcom.
Yeah.
Not that this is a bad actress or anything, but Ashley was definitely the forgotten child in the series. I enjoyed her more in Fresh Prince than I did in this one. Because I feel like they didn't know what to do with Ashley a lot of the times, or what direction that they were trying to take with her. And I feel like I understood her more in Bel-Air, and a lot of her things was just not fleshed out all the way, or was rushed over. Like, if I have any complaints in Bel-Air at all, and which I really don't have a whole lot of complaints about this series, I'm gonna start there. I don't have a whole lot of complaints about this show overall, except I just feel like they fumbled Ashley's character. I feel like this
I
is the most that
agree.
we've gotten from her. I did appreciate her throwing hands to that little girl at school. Personally, she had it coming, and we seen
Mm-hmm.
Ashley was escalating for a while. I'm not mad at her. Okay, I'm not mad. She was trying to defend herself, and it was boiling for a while. But I did appreciate that, Ashley was trying to. She's been struggling with her identity, not only her sexual identity, gender identity, but her place in her family overall, because she's the baby of the family. And when you come after two siblings that are like, that they set the bar very, very high, and everybody's expecting you to live up to those standards. Like in my family, like me, my younger sister, and my younger brother, we are like stair step kids. And me and my younger sister, we kind of set the bar a little high for my younger brother, who just came in and did the complete opposite of us in general. And so just trying to find her place, and then finding out there's going to be a sibling after her. So she's just like, dang, I'm not even holding the cards as the younger child anymore. Like I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I do like that they added on that she was switching to the public school, because that's something that happened in, the OG show, that she was tired of being the token Black. She was tired of being in a place where there was no cultural competency, no acceptance of who she was as a person, as a part of the queer community. She got tired of like trying to speak up and advocate for herself all the time, and feeling misunderstood, and missing her mentor, her big sister, that sisterhood that she had, because Hillary always had her back. And the relationship with Eli. Now, at first, like last season, I didn't really like Eli that much, because I was just like, I feel like you're gonna get her into trouble. But Eli really wasn't the problem. It was Ashley. Ashley was the problem all on her own. Tamika, how did you feel about Ashley Banks overall? And then they kind of skipped over, like, she was talented. Like, wasn't she a musician or something? Ashley was just. Then she was like an activist for a moment. I'm not sure what they was doing with
She
Ashley.
had a lot of nothing going on, but
It was a whole lot.
I had the same sentiments. I feel like they really didn't know what to do with her character in season 1 and 2. She really didn't have much of a place. I liked the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Ashley, a little better than season 3. We start trying to give her some places to go, but then I wasn't feeling the places y'all was trying to have her go. I was like, Ashley, if you don't sit your little ass down somewhere. She was definitely irritating my soul and spirit. I love, like I said, the relationship that her and Hillary have. Even her and Will, I feel like had a closer relationship in the original one. Even they
Yes.
sprinkled it in here a little bit, but child, when she took that pregnancy test to the school, I said, if this damn girl, like, why, Sway, why would you be out here in the middle of the hall? And I was waiting for Will and Carlton to walk up and be like, wait, I know damn well you ain't get her pregnant, because they
Right.
already over here, like, don't you kiss her, don't you touch her.
Exactly. They was already on his head.
I was just trying to understand, like, what was your point, girl? Why would you do that? But by the end, I started feeling her a little bit more, because I do get the concept of you don't know your place. You don't really fit in anywhere. You don't feel like nobody sees you. You don't want to be, placed on Will or Carlton or Hillary or anybody. You just want to be seen for yourself. And the only one you feel like understands you is Eli. I understood that part, but I was like, girl, some of this other stuff, you're doing a bit much. And then I love the speech, the poem, kind of piggybacking off of James Baldwin and him I think dedicating it to his nephew versus her dedicating it to her little sister. I was like, all right, Ashley, now this is what I'm talking about. I'm with you here. I'm with you when you write. But some of that other stuff, girl, I was like, if you don't go sit your ass down somewhere. Yeah.
You there, Kay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
On
okay.
mute. Yeah. Candy. Yeah. Thoughts on Ashley Banks here and what you feel like they may have done wrong or right with her in the reimagining.
Same thing you all have said. They didn't. Of course, she's not going to be like the original Ashley, but I did like the original Ashley better. I wish they had have given her a little bit more to do and not so much focus on Carlton and Will, because she is there, and give her something to do, give her something else other than what they did. Because I mean, even though it's true in this time frame, in this day and age, the identity things, and not sure if you like girls, boys, or them, they, whoever, which is it's relevant to now. And I appreciate them for putting that in there, but I still wish we had have gotten a little bit more of Ashley, because at one point she was I think she was trying to sing, of course. She did the singing thing. She was, dibbling, dabbling with instruments or whatever. I wish they had done something like that with her. But other than that, nothing else. She really wasn't there pretty much. But in this season, that little girl got on my central nervous system. I'm like, little girl, why? What is it? Did she took that pregnancy test? I said, is she finna fake like she pregnant and want to, and finna mess with this boy? But hell, that ain't even kids. So why are you bringing it to school? For you want to tell people? I didn't know where she was going with that, but she just had an issue because her mom was pregnant and wanted to tell somebody. Girl, you could have called him and told him that if you want to do that. I'm like, why are you taking that to school?
And then had the nerve to confront her mother in the damn living room when they were saying they have an announcement like, you ain't gonna say you pregnant. I'm like, girl,
that was none of her business. Like, girl, stay in the child's place, okay? Like, you're doing a little too much. But she didn't have enough to do. That's why she did that stupid shit, because she had nothing else to do. So there's that.
Exactly. I feel like that was some real only child behavior.
Yeah.
It's a real only child, youngest child, forgotten child. Like, what is happening here, Ashley? Let's reel it back in for somebody who's trying to grow up. That was real childish.
Yeah.
that was childish. Moving it on to the next sibling now, because we got to spend some time on Carlton, because Carlton has been a trip every last season. Because what do you mean you had it out for Will since y'all was kids? You was on his neck since y'all was children? That you were so threatened by your own cousin, like you tried to detour him from getting into a good school at a young age because you felt threatened by him? Like, Carlton, I do appreciate that in the end, he decided to go to an HBCU because he's finally got it off of his chest that he's just tired of pretending. Tired of pretending to be perfect. Tired of pretending that he's okay with, with being with, again, like Ashley was tired of being the token black. Like, I'm tired of trying to assimilate into the dominant culture when I want to explore what it's like to just be me and relax for once. Like, I'm tired of trying to hold up to this one specific standard all the time, because Carlton is very much a perfectionist, and that was the reason why he had the addiction in the beginning, is him always constantly trying to be at the top, always trying to prove himself, always trying to prove his worth and his place. And he was like that from a child. And Carlton was trying to make sure he lived up to his parents' standards from himself, make sure he tries to, make sure I'm at this all white school and I have to be perfect, because, if I do anything, it's going to reflect on my family and Black people as a whole. So I have to put my head down and just go along with things. I'm the only son in the family, so I have to make sure that, I'm strong enough to also be the man of the family, and to be able to carry all of these things on my back, and to live up to the standards that everybody sets for me. I want to prove to them that I can not only do that, but I can do more, and I can exceed everybody's standards. And in doing that, he became his own downfall. Like, he knew in the beginning him and Amir should have never been together, because y'all both have an addiction problem. Then you steal this girl's story so that it can help you get into college and not even give her the credit for it. And then, knowing you really don't even want to go to this college, you've been sabotaging your own cousin y'all's whole lives. And Will had been nothing but good to Carlton the whole time. Will was a very, very good cousin to Carlton. And it took Carlton way too long to see that. It took Carlton way too long to see his only friend in life was his cousin Will.
Yeah.
The only person that was ever really the only person that truly seen who Carlton was Will. The only person who had ever really truly seen him. And he had been trying to sabotage his own cousin out of jealousy his whole entire life, and trying to be so perfect that you're not even speaking up for yourself and trying to figure out who you are in the end. And now you mad that you have anxiety, and then you taking it out on the only person who really saw you this whole time. Candy, how did you feel about Carlton? But I'm glad he might actually get his life going to the HBCU. Okay, come on down to the house.
Now, Carlton was my favorite character out of this whole entire series, because he had so much going on from the beginning all the way up until the end, when he, we could see his character arc. I appreciated them, how they wrote him, because he was same as the OG Carlton, but he was totally different, because it's a reimagining and it's in today's time frame. I do appreciate the way he, maneuvered through the series. A lot of times he got on my nerves, but I still liked him because he had a lot going on. He was addicted to drugs. He had anxiety. He was, and I think because of the lifestyle that he was afforded to be able to live, that's what caused him to do those things, being on drugs and the anxiety. Like, you have to live up to your father, who's a Princeton man. You have to live up to these things. And because y'all live in this $1 billion home, or $1 million home, you're in Bel Air. So he had a lot going on. And to not look like everyone, he had to do more. He felt he had to do more. And going back to season 1, where he allowed his friends to use the N-word. And Will was like, hell no, like, we don't do that. No, we're not doing that. So I do appreciate him coming around to everything, and knowing that, Carlton, Will was my best friend. Will was the one that was there for me the entire time, and making his own path. Now, I did not like Amira from Hello, because she seemed like she had some evil shit with her, and I didn't like her. But okay, they still together. I'm glad they did not go down the path of destruction and getting married. But I appreciated him when I saw him being a Morehouse man. I said, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. Because he did not need to go to an Ivy League school being this Carlton. I think Will would be fine, because Will is well-rounded. But this Carlton, he need to go home. He need to be at home with his people.
Because he's lived in a false sense of reality for so long, because it's different when you hiding behind a whole bunch of people with power and money, and everybody's being pretentious. And he's done that too long. He's been there, he's done that. Like, we need you to come and step over into the real world and be around more people who are like your cousin and who are like Jazz and that are just grounded, and they're not trying to impress people. They just want to they want to be they want to see you for who you are. They want to allow you the space to be yourself, because Black people aren't monolithic. Like, he might, go to more and see that there's more Black people who are like him.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to be yourself, Carlton.
Mm-hmm.
So come on and get some of this culture here, Carlton. I'm glad.
Baby, called. I see. That's what I'm saying. They should have gave us at least 2 more seasons, because I would love to have seen Carlton down there as a Morehouse man. I ain't lying.
Listen,
I would love to see Carlton stepping. Okay,
listen.
because I know he would have been a Kappa. I would have loved to see that. I know.
And I would have loved, exactly. I would have loved to see him come with his letters on, and they're not the same as Uncle Phil. Like him coming home and Uncle Phil thinking that he's an alpha man, and either he's got on some letters that are just like, whoop, what? That ain't my friend. That ain't me. I would have loved to see that wrap around. Yeah, they could have gave at least a 30-minute wrap up of 6 months from now, a year from now, and let us know how everything was going. A nice little check-in. Yeah. Tamika, how did you feel about Carlton this season and his character arc overall? Because I'm glad they showed, like, Carlton, you hated Will your whole life.
Carlton came a long way.
He
did. This was definitely a big character arc. I was not surprised though when they did the flashbacks, and I did love seeing little Carlton with, Phil telling him, you got to learn this math and you got to get in this school. But I was not surprised when he's having these interactions with Will, with them being younger, and Will knows the math problems, off the top of his head. It don't take him no time, whereas Carlton is here trying to practice and get it, and then he's good at basketball, he's good at math. So already Carlton is insecure, feeling like, no, you don't want to come over to that school. It's bougie, white, rich people, and you ain't going to be able to handle it. You need to stay over here in Philly. Like, I felt like that was true to Carlton, but honestly, even though I do feel like, of course, all parents have expectations for their kids, and Phil is trying to teach him things, and he even admits, like, maybe I went too far with it. I honestly feel like Carlton was harder on himself and expected more for himself and stressed himself out a lot more than even his parents was. I feel like he put the weight of the world on his shoulders. And sometimes we are our toughest critics. We are hard on ourselves. We do feel like no matter what we do, we ain't doing it right. And I think that's where the anxiety and, turning to drugs and everything else came. But to know that he used to sit there and let people say the N-word, but now you got these guys coming down the hall with the white shirts on, and he like, oh, hell no, take that off right now. I said, okay, I'm coming through with the knuck if you buck, like, you ain't about to do that in my face. Go somewhere else with that. And him realizing once, Phil's, I think it was his son friend, came to give him the breakdown of how it works in Princeton, and saying, damn, that means that's gonna be 4 more years of me going through what I just was going through in damn Belly Academy. Like, no, I don't want to do that. So I like how they switched it up, and he was, going to an HBCU. I love that part. I didn't want Amara back, baby. When they showed her, I said, what is she doing here? I didn't feel like they needed her back. She was never my favorite person. However, and I was so mad at him when he stole her story. I said, Carlton, now come on. Like, you was just doing good. And now you felt like, because to me, his story by itself was enough. You did not need to take her story. She has her journey. You have yours. And if they wasn't willing to accept that, then, it is what it is. But no, he want to try to add a little extra on it. And the fact that the, what was she? The guidance counselor, I forget what her title was, but that she automatically thought it was Amara that was lying about it and was like, oh, you need to apologize, and just automatically thought that Carlton was the one that was telling the truth, when we all knowing that that's not the way it went. And I'm waiting, like, are you going to stand up? Are you going to say anything? And he going to her like, what do you want me to do? I was pissed with him with that part. I'm like, you out of damn line. But I did feel like later, she was bringing some truth to him, but I also was getting scared because with them two, I feel like it's always a different high. Like, yeah, now we're not getting high off drugs, but we get high off the adrenaline. We get high off the rush. We get high off of doing the spontaneous things. We saying, oh, it's life, speaking to us and this and that, and then the cards and all this other stuff. I said, child, no, it's really not, okay? So when they went there and then that phone ring and stopped them from getting married, and it was like, is this a sign? I was like, yes, I'm glad that they both was like, yeah, let's get the hell up out of here. Like, this is not what we should be doing.
Right.
But it showed some growth in her character as well. And then really the way they interacted with each other was the way I was expecting Will and Lisa to interact with each other. So I was kind of surprised with that because Lisa and Will, we'll talk about them, went a whole nother direction. But I love the fact that Phil was like, it's on you. You the one that got to make the decision. And even his mom was like, he'll get over it. It's your life. Like, you're the one that has to live it at the end of the day. So, that was the lesson he had to learn. But I loved it. I was like, okay, Carlton, now we talking. You came a long way.
Yes, he did. I was so afraid for him in the mirror this season. I said, oh, God, what are they going to do?
I was, because they was all over the place.
Right. And the worst thing they could do was go to the chapel. But I'm glad they did not make it, didn't finish it.
Because Carlton then had him a new boo, and then was trying to not to let him Amira, whatever I used to call her, Ghetto Ariel.
Yeah, with that red hair.
Ghetto Ariel, not let her know that he was seeing somebody else. But and I don't even know how she ended up at Bel Air Academy in the first place. Because girl, why would you even be there?
Right, like your family got that kind of money for you to go here?
Exactly. I'm like, since when you got money? The way you was over there at his house trying to steal stuff, right. I don't know how you could even afford to be in this location, ma'am. But I'm glad. I'm just like, we ain't even need to spend too much time on her because we seen way too much of her last season because she really got me upset. And they Carlton, when once you get to the house, we just gonna have to worry about somebody else. Let's move on. Spellman is right across the road. It's time to move right on along. And I
also like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. It just popped in my head. I also liked how, Carlton would have the conversations with Will, like, if he was going through something where he was with his dad or whatever, he would kind of point out things to him. And then when he went to Phil, when Phil was acting a whole mess with Lou, and then he had his little moment with Ashley. Like, there was different times that he actually was giving good advice, to the other members in the house, or he was stepping up. And then I was a little shaky, worried when he had to step up when Phil was telling him, like, I'm counting on you. I'm like, oh Lord, don't put too much pressure on him and count on him, because then he may crash out. But he literally was like, I got you. I'm going to do this. So we saw that growth in like a couple of different aspects, and I did like that.
Yes, we did. So I'm glad that Carlton wrapped this up before he could continue to be a villain. Before we keep going, I gotta shout out some of the people in the chat. Before we get to Uncle Phil and Jeffrey here, I kind of put their stories because they were very intertwined this season, like heavily. So we can't talk about one without the other. We're gonna talk about them together. So we got Lawrence in the chat with the Lawrence report here. Let's see. Michael in the chat. How you doing? Who is this? We got Shanna MCD checking in with us. John Watson checking in. Who is this? Renee Beckham checking in. Trina checking in. Let me see. Am I skipping anybody? Oh, She Always LB is here. And if you guys have not said hello in the chat, drop in the chat, wave at us, say hey, say what's up. Let us know that you're here. CT, SG. Y'all are in the building. Y'all are showing up for Bel Air today.
Mm-hmm. They in the building for Bel Air.
Yeah. So y'all are here. So yeah, if I miss anybody, let us know that you're here. Y'all come on in, say hey, speak up, tell us what's happening. We love to let y'all know that we appreciate y'all being here. We didn't do episode by episode because Peacock would not let us be great, and they wanted to drop a 2-3-3-2. Let's do a good wrap up. So we said we're gonna come on in and wrap up the whole season series as a whole. So thank y'all for hopping in here, and hopefully you all binged it or watched it like I did, because yeah, spoiler review. And glad y'all are here again. Let us know in the comments that you're here, and make sure you hit like and subscribe on all the channels. Now, this was interesting. Jeff, how you doing? I said I know that ain't what's the name from Power?
Right. Okay, Norma.
Norma from Power, which
Uh-huh.
also little Easter egg, that's actually Uncle Phil's wife in real life. I said, so she just gonna be a recreational pharmacist and a criminal and everything she do.
Right.
So
she just was giving me Noma part 2 in this.
Exactly. I said we just gonna live a criminal lifestyle. But it was good to see.
Play a boss, villain like that. I don't want her to be typecast because I haven't seen her anything else, but she definitely did it this time.
Exactly. I was glad to see her again, because Power book Ghosts that's over, so it's good to see her again, and nice to see them in the same series together. So good job putting your wife on, Uncle Phil. But so Jeffrey been causing all types of hell. So you brought your street life from back in London all the way over to America, interfering in the Banks family, which pissed Vivian all the way off. And so they're like, hey, if y'all want these people to get off y'all ass, we need to wash some money for them, which is very illegal and very unbecoming of somebody to ask somebody who is very prominent in the community, and a very successful Black man, to engage in criminal activity. But they didn't want to do it, and they were just like, but for my family, I'll do what I have to do. So they got to team up with her for a little while, so she stayed up off their ass, because she's just like, I'm here to take your family down, and I want you to know how much access I have to you. Like, I can reach out and touch you anytime I want to. You see how I grabbed your nephew? Like it's up. Like either you're gonna do what I asked you to do, or we can really take it to the streets. So they do this, and which I was upset that they had to put Jazz in it, because I'm like, how y'all throw Jazz? Y'all could have found anybody else's business besides Jazz, and got the feds walking up into Jazz's office for why. And which, speaking of Jazz, Lord, why was you messing with this old cougar lady? I didn't think about it until just now.
Yes, from Girlfriends.
Exactly. And married, you ain't even tell the boy you was married. Jazz ain't even that type of man to be messing with somebody else's woman. And Will missed exactly. And thanks to Will being in everybody's business, as he normally is, was like, oh, I gotta say something. But Will, like, now Phil, y'all putting Jazz in way too much he don't belong in. And come to find out, this lady in this series, I don't know what her name is, Norma, is Jeffrey's sister. Mm-hmm. And this was all a ploy to get him to come back to the family business, because she see he want to, do well for his life. He done found him a new family in the Banks, and it's just like, she's like, this ain't your family. You need to come back to me. We your family. Come back over here with us. I mean, I know we live a life of crime, but whatever. At least we're family. You know what I mean? Like, them people don't love you like I do. Like, just come be a part of this. Just all types of manipulation. And G thought about it for a second, because Aunt Viv ain't want him around, because she felt like he was a risk. Like, oh no, we got another child coming, and you'd already put the other ones at risk. Mm-hmm. We don't need this in our life right now. And I'm glad they did flashbacks of Phil and Jeffrey's friendship to show that they've been hanging tough for a long time. Like, Jeffrey is not just a friend; he's a part of their family. Mm-hmm. And one thing that they did do with this is they kept the situation with Jeffrey and Norma and washing up this money. They kept it away from the kids. They did open up. I'm glad he told Jazz what was going on, so that he had plausible deniability. Right. But they didn't put the kids in this. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad, because they didn't need to know. It wouldn't have benefited them to know any of that at all. They didn't need to know what was going on. And, because Phil is trying to teach Carlton and Will to be better. Like, I want y'all to be more independent. I want y'all to be, good young men, do the right thing, and be able to live an honest life. They didn't need to know what was going on behind the scenes. And a
Like
good
you
parent protects your kids from things
Mm-hmm.
that are going to be harmful from them, because they wouldn't have benefited doing that, because Will is nosy and would have tried to do something, and Carlton already got anxiety.
because Will is nosy, they became Bash
Exactly.
and Bash.
Exactly. Will is
And they
nosy.
did not find out who they were bashing. I'm glad they didn't find out who that person was, because then that probably would have put Jeffrey and Phil in a bad spot had Will and Carlton found out who Norma was, and whose car
Mhm.
they beat up. So I'm glad they just left it at that part, because like you said, they didn't need to be included into the that part, the illegal crime family, crime mob. So I'm glad they did leave that part out.
Mhm. I'm just like that. We didn't need to have a because they have a lot of family meetings. We didn't need to have a family meeting about that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm glad they didn't. They skipped over. And that's okay. I feel like it's okay that parents shield their children from things that are dangerous, and that they don't need that, let them be in a child's place. They don't need to know everything. That's on a need to know basis.
They didn't need to
And
know that.
they didn't need to know. And in the end, like at Lee Jeffrey was like, I love y'all, but sometimes you got to know when to go.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to know when to go. And in the OG show, Jeffrey at the end, he left to go back to London to be with his son, his raggedy ass son Frederick. But he got back with Frederick mama and said, you know what, London too much, we're gonna go back, we're going to Jamaica. I'm gonna go back, we're gonna go to Jamaica, so that we know that he's not gonna be alone, and that he is going to try and start his life over, and start his family over, outside of the banks and outside of this life of crime. Candy, how did you feel about Uncle Phil and Jeffrey this season? And even though, and how close they were in Friends, but sometimes we gotta love each other from over there.
Um, I liked their friendship, their brotherhood. I liked it. They were able to keep it real with one another to some extent. Um, Even though Phil was this billionaire person, he was reeled into the life of crime that he should not have been a part of. But you can still be reeled in, no matter what level you are. You can be low or high, you still can get reeled into life of crime. So I appreciated him going to Lisa's father to get assistance with this, because he didn't need to get wrapped up and caught up and locked up for this, because that was nothing he had. He was just trying to help out his friend and keep his family clean and clear out of it. But so I did like that he was still able to get in and get out, unscathed. I appreciated them fighting it out, even though they were boxing or sparring or whatever, they were fighting. They was fighting. They had to fight it out, and I appreciate them doing that. Like adults, what? I'm pissed off at you. You pissed off at me. Let's fight it out without it being that way. But we know that's what they were doing. Him being the godfather too. I think he's the godfather of all the children. Because he has
Mm-hmm.
even Will coming in. He's Will's godfather. He told Will at the end, "I know how to find you, even in Philly. I can find you." And we
And
know he can,
exactly,
because
and Will.
season one, what he did, okay? Jeffrey is well connected and don't play no games. And we see why. Hell, who his sister is, a cuckoo Norma. I don't know her name in the show, but she gonna always be Norma, okay? I appreciated him being that way, because his sister called him the house ninja. I appreciated him holding his position, even though he's not just that. And you can call me whatever you want to call me, but I know who I am to these people. They treat me well. I am their family. I'm the children's godfather. That's my brother and that's my sister. I appreciated him still, even though he had to do this, he was still, there for them. And I just appreciated that from Jeffrey part. But Phil, I was very disappointed that he would do that, but I didn't know why he was there. I didn't know what was going on with him. I'm like, why are you doing this? I understand, because Jeffrey brought it to him in a certain way, and it's to protect the family. But I'm like, damn, Phil, why are you gonna do that to Jazz? Like, why would you put Jazz in that position? But of course, we knew he had to do something to make it, look right, so everything could flow well. But I do appreciate, I like Phil from season one up until now. He was always just rooted in love, rooted in, being a father, a provider, and a protector for his family. And he was there for his wife as well. So I did like Uncle Phil. I didn't have an issue with Uncle Phil other than this season when he became whatever money launderer. But we know why he did that and ended up getting out of it. So I did appreciate that. And we didn't need to see Frederick DeMarcus. I didn't like him. We didn't need to see Frederick.
This was frustrating to see, like, for me, because I felt like, oh gosh, like we knew it wasn't as if they didn't know, Jeffrey's backstory and what happened to him. I love seeing their backstory. Speaking of backstories, I loved the flashbacks to how they first met, him coming over to dinner and meeting Vivian and Hillary, and pretty much like, even knowing what tea to give Vivian and what she needs, because he was there for the other pregnancies and he's always held y'all down and he's always been there, for the family and protected your kids, as well as wanting to protect his own, son and ex-wife, whatever the hell she was supposed to be. So they both want to protect their families, and I understood that part fully. They both were kind of moving from those aspects, but I did feel at certain points like one Jeffrey presence was definitely missing. Like we were used to seeing him around the house and interacting with Phil and interacting with the kids, and we wasn't really seeing that as much because now he has this going on, so he's trying to stay away and do what he could do to hopefully end this. And then you got Phil, who's like, first and foremost, what we not gonna do is bring me all the way down to the ground. So I couldn't be mad at him for that and wanting to protect the family. And I couldn't be mad at Viv for being frustrated with it either. But I just felt like y'all knew what was going on with Jeffrey. It wasn't as if that part was a secret. And you also know the history that he had with y'all. So it's just certain things I felt like, are we really second guessing that when we know how much he loves the kids and how much he would want to protect them as well? But I get like just the frustrations of the situation and everything else had everybody, going into different directions. And Noma 2.0 was getting on my damn nerves. I don't give a damn what her name was. She gonna be Noma to me. I was sick of I'm like, lady, like, being very vindictive and just wanting to, show this power, like, oh, you thought you was hiring extra security. Well, since you did that, then I'm going to go ahead and have them arrested and I'm going to do this and that, even though Phil is already coming and saying, okay, I'm going to do this for you, but I'm going to do it my way that, is convenient for me. And of course, we had heard him tell Viv he had a plan, but we didn't know what the plan was. And so, to see that play out, I was like, okay, yeah, that was smart, I didn't like Jazz being brought into it, but I definitely understood where he was going with it, and I appreciated him going and having a conversation with Jazz, and Jazz and him being on the same page, and Jazz understanding why he did it. But I was like, no, we ain't about to, have Jazz get thrown into this. And I'm like, come on now, Phil, because I know he went to him once before for help with this, and then he's all happy, like, oh, okay, you're gonna help me get my business off the ground, only for it to end up being shut down and him getting into some mess. And I was over Pam, because why are you here, ma'am, going over here trying to get it in with Jeffrey? That was so funny when Will was like, oh, she's smashing, and Carlton was so clueless. He was so like, what are you talking
Carlton
about?
was clueless. Like Carlton was not reading the room.
Baby,
Carlton was
he don't have
So hilarious.
he ain't got it. He ain't got the discernment, baby. I can see when the foolishness is going on, says Will, okay? Yeah.
He was not
oblivious,
reading the room at all.
But and what's her name? Pamela.
Uh-huh.
Did y'all think, did she know about Phil doing it, or did she just say, well, I know how you can get help? And
remember, she had got a red flag about it, like it came across, which we later found out that he did that on purpose, but she had got flagged about it. And the same time that she finally admitted what was going on with her and Jazz to Aunt Viv, she said, oh, and I'm sorry for what's going on with y'all too. And Viv was like, what are you talking about? Nah, that's got to be a mistake. And she like, oh, okay, girl, yeah, you right. But, in other words, she was giving her the heads up. And, of course, that's when they end up coming and knocking at Jazz's door because they picked up like it's something going down.
And she did know? Because I think you broke up a little bit. So she did know?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why she slid that little, to Jazz. Okay.
EJ, welcome in.
Hey
We are just finishing up with Uncle Phil and Jeffrey. I put them together because their stories were very, very intertwined. Give us a few words about their wrap up. This money washing, money laundering scheme that they had going on. Norma 2.0 over here trying to bring Jeffrey back to their family business. Um, and Jeffrey, deciding that it was time to go, and him leaving to go start a life with Frederick's mama, um, in Jamaica. Let us know how you feel about these two.
Okay. Yeah. First of all, what's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? Listen, this was cool. I mean, I'm literally just finishing up. Like, I started late, y'all. My bad. But I'm just finishing up, and I don't know. I didn't see the twist coming at first. Like Uncle Phil had set this up from the jump, but I should have known that he was going to protect himself at all costs. So I love that part. I was a little shaky about Jeffrey for a minute. Like, I didn't know what G was going to do. I was like, I thought he was about to turn the tables for a second, but I'm glad that it all worked itself out. And I'm glad that Uncle Phil was on top of it. And yeah, Noma 2.0, that was something else. I was just like, girl, stop. You didn't win then. You're not going to win now. But I love their friendship. I love how they gave us a throwback of how they met, and how he literally became part of the family and why they are so close. And I thought that they did such a good job at really bringing that particular part to life, because, I mean, from the moment we got this new reimagination, I didn't know how the heck, Uncle Phil and Jeffrey, like what their real connection was. So I loved how they crossed that over throughout the season.
All on mute. I did too. I'm really glad that we got to see their backstory a little bit and how they first became friends, so that we understand how wrapped up in the Banks family, like he really was. Like he was part of their family. The mark is in the chat. Yeah, a good wrap up scene with Jeffrey, Penelope, and Frederick. Although don't nobody want to see Frederick with his grown looking ass, looking like he about the same age as Jeffrey. No, with his scamming ass. He's probably still scamming people right damn now. I don't think he's ready to change his life yet. I don't think she's ready. She should have targeted her nephew instead of her brother. Because
your nephew is cool with being foolish. Okay, go ahead.
Perfectly fine with his shenanigans. Y'all, we got some trivia that we about to crank in here next. So I want y'all to turn y'all's thinking caps on. We gonna roll back this intro because we got getting close to 30 people in the chat. Y'all cop in here, say hello, do all the things. EJ just joined us, so make sure you hit like, subscribe on all of the channels. Everybody has a membership. Y'all join it. We're going to start doing these movie nights again. Y'all want to be there, hit that join button on memberships. And if you're liking the show so far, if you're liking the discussion, go ahead and throw somebody a super chat. Somebody.
This is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. And I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air. I spent most of my days chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool and all shooting some ball outside of the pool with a couple of guys who were up to no good. Started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight and my mom got scared and said, "You're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air." I whistled for a cab and when it came near, the license plate said freshen it and dice in the mirror. If anything, I could say that this cat was rare, but I thought, man, forget it. Yo, home to Bel Air. The house about 7 or 8 and I yelled to the cabbie, "Yo home, smell you later." Once in my kingdom, I was finally there.
Shout out to DeMarcus. Going around with the the super stickers, making sure everybody get a little something, something. Let me blow this up just a little bit, cause the way I need to see this, I'm
Well,
like
I
not
had
in the.
to move a little closer.
There we go. All right, y'all. Now this trivia is Fresh Prince of Bel-Air trivia. So because the way my memory is set up, I can't remember all the details of Bel-Air from season 1 to 4. But let me tell you, I know the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air like the back of my hand. I am an 80s baby and a 90s kid. So I know 90s TV sitcoms. That's how I grew up. Y'all in the comments, hop on in here. And anybody feel free to answer. We're gonna start with the first one. Whose life story was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air based on? Who knows?
Well,
Anybody else? Anybody in the chat?
Whatever Tamika said.
Who was
What did Tamika say?
the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? And somebody in the chat got it. Benny Medina,
Okay, yeah.
producer of the show. Actually, this actually was based on his real life story of him
Marcus.
growing up in West Philadelphia and getting in trouble, and his mom sending him to live with his wealthy family in California. Somebody got it.
Well, I knew that's what it was, but my child called my cell phone and it messed me up.
Next question. In the original show, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, who played Ashtray? Who was the original Ashtray?
He's what's his name? He got a funny name. I'm sorry, it's not a funny name, it's a different name.
Yeah.
He played, what's that man's name? Oh gosh.
Even if my life depended on it, I'm sorry, I'm dead.
Accent. What's his name? I can't think of his name, but I know what he looks like. He's a dark skinned guy. And he played in the oh gosh, what is his name? He played a basketball player from New York one time in a movie. And what's his name?
I'll give y'all a hint. He was War Machine and all the Avengers movies, and I want to say he was in A Lesson Before Dawn.
That's it. Yeah.
Don Cheadle.
Yeah, Don Cheadle. Yeah. Thank you, DeMarcus.
There you go.
I knew the last name was different. I just can't remember.
Next question. Who sung at Baby Nikki's christening in the OG?
I really gotta go rewatch this.
Yeah, and this was around Christmas time.
Boys to Men.
There we go. Hold on. I got something for y'all. Hold on. ABC. It was Boys to Men, and they sung Let It Snow.
Let it snow.
Will was all up in the studio acting like he knew them, pressing buttons and stuff.
Right. And
love
like,
that
I
episode.
remember you.
Because he had messed with somebody's girl.
She messed with this guy with some big lips. Oh. I'm like, well, you about to get beat down, okay?
About to get jumped by Boys to Men. Now, everybody better know this one right here.
It's the only one I know.
How did Trevor pass away?
Hillary Banks, will you marry me? The only one I know.
Trying to be extra.
Right on national television, and poor Hillary didn't even understand what was happening in that moment. Everybody else was in shock. And it was like, I can't believe this just happened. And Hillary is just like, yes, Trevor.
I'm like, why would they do that?
That was horrible.
Why would they do that? Now that would not play out today. That would be an NO. Hell no today. Okay.
And yet Belle Biv DeVoe was also in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and Will was all in their way too. Always meddling.
Didn't get the furniture put back in time. Painting on the wall. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I'm telling y'all, I love Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Yes, Trevor passed away trying to be fancy with his proposal and go bungee jumping. That was at and the point in my life where I said, you know what? I know one thing I'm never gonna do.
Facts.
And
Hey,
that's
Inga
bungee jumping.
Binga.
Hey, Inga. Never ever doing it. Never.
Thanks, Trevor.
Last question, everybody. Who produced the theme song? And we just listened to it. I ran it back. Just y'all can be ready. Who produced the OG theme song of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
To that man. Quincy.
I'm gonna let you get. I'm gonna give it to Quinn. It's somebody else that we're gonna give credit to as well.
Quincy Jones
died. Yeah, he died around time. He died about. It's been a year now. He died around election time, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. That's the other name that I was looking for. I was just like, okay.
I thought I was gonna say one of them, period, because I thought it was either one of them, but I didn't know.
Yeah. Yes. Quincy Jones and DJ Jazzy Jeff, because at any point in time, even as part of his life of being a DJ, he gonna play this song. Mm-hmm. He gonna play this in the club. He gonna play this on the stage. He gonna throw out the theme song of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and everybody is gonna sing it. Everybody gonna go in for this song. I can't think of a more famous and more well-known television show theme song. If y'all know another one that lives up to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, y'all know. But who's up there with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song?
Jefferson's Good Times.
Good Times is one of them.
The Jeffersons.
Oh, that's a good one.
Family Matters. I mean, for me.
I don't know the words to that one. I know the beat to that one, but I don't know the words. I know the words to the Jeffersons for sure. Good times, anytime you need a
I know the Different World.
Yeah,
Different World.
Yeah, that's definitely one. I could sing any of those.
They used to play and my son, when he played basketball in high school, they would play the Fresh Prince doing the that song during the basketball games, like at halftime and whatnot. They would play it at the basketball game, and everybody, the older people my age, and everybody, whoever knew it, was in the gym singing that song. Okay, like
exactly. That song.
Your sister kind of got a point too, because that's the one that I do know that one. Thank you for being.
Oh yeah.
Travel. Yes.
Your heart is true.
You're
and a confidant. And if you
so ain't nobody gonna throw out
invited everyone you knew.
Different Strokes and the Brady Bunch. Y'all ain't gonna throw them two out there?
And the world don't know
the Brady Bunch.
The beat of the soul drum.
Exactly.
May not
be right to a man is born, he's a man of something. I don't know all the words, but I got the
different strokes to take.
Different strokes today.
Different strokes through the world.
This is where you start making up words. And I know I used to make up. But then when we got later, there were a few other theme songs like Moat to the Eat to the, but I never know do the words, so I just
yeah.
And the sisters the theme song.
They don't do theme songs like they used to.
Not like they used to, girl. I think the only I ain't even gonna lie, y'all don't judge me, don't say nothing, because I love a good theme song, because I be on them theme songs, but they don't have a lot of good ones. Honestly, I still think right now, the Family Business has one of the best theme songs.
And I think
Outside
maybe
of
because of network television, they don't really they do
Yeah.
music or whatever. Like if you
Mhm.
just hear some music or whatever, it's never a
Yeah, it's never a
song.
thing anymore. It's just like, yeah.
I'm trying to think outside of Power, what other radio theme songs they playing on the radio? Because they're gonna always play the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, but they'll play Power theme song
Yeah.
on the radio.
Because it sounds like a radio song though, so it don't even really sound like, it don't sound like a theme song, like how the song like Fresh Prince sound like a theme song. The other ones, they all sound like a theme song, but 50 Cent songs sound like 50 Cent songs. I'm sorry, they don't sound like a, I mean, I know
And I think a lot of those theme songs were written by the same person too, if I'm not mistaken. I have to go back and look, but because me and my homeboy would always go back and forth about theme songs, and I think a lot of them were written by the same person.
That's what's up.
Oh yeah, they don't make television theme songs like they used to.
Not like
y'all.
they used to.
Like
They
y'all
ain't
forgive
nothing
us.
like it used to be. Okay.
We all some
Yeah, the
TV
movie
junkies here.
soundtracks was fire. Okay.
Sleeping,
We
they
can
be
talk about that
sleeping
all
on those
day.
too these days. Exactly, sleeping on the movie soundtracks too.
And so Waiting to Exhale is 30 years old today, and I promise y'all, I still think that they had the best soundtrack like ever. And it's like one of the best soundtracks that was ever made, in my opinion. I literally know like damn near every song on the damn Waiting to Exhale soundtrack was so great. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Boomerang
Baby
and New
Face
Jack
ain't
City.
play. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think Robin Thicke's dad did write a lot of theme songs back then.
Yes,
Ooh,
he
okay,
did.
I didn't know that. That's what's up.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, Living Single had a great theme song too, but I think it all goes back to an era.
Yeah. I think it's dealing with. I think it's dealing with budget. But I think it's dealing with budget. A lot of things, like I think it's dealing with like the money, the network, and the attention span. Because like we can sing the whole theme song. They don't have that anymore because the attention span is short now.
Because they put the skip button in there, Candy. You know what it is.
They did, and you're not supposed to skip the theme song. You play that all the way through.
Listen, it's Welcome to Daria's theme song is rocking right now.
That thing is long.
Because we ain't heard a good theme song in a long time. We clinging on to Welcome. That shows how much we want a theme song these days.
Exactly.
Power Force. I like Power Force's theme song. I don't listen to that.
You're so thirsty for a theme song.
Okay.
Money, power, some. I don't even know that. I just be like, I'm
money, power.
Like that. Yeah.
Like we're millennials. Y'all got to give us a theme song.
Okay. And a soundtrack. Please and thank you.
You got to set the tone for us, okay? Ease us in there.
I don't know why they just gonna hit skip, girl. Like that's all the people do now. Just skip. How you skip the theme songs?
No, I need a theme song. Even with the television show Sisters, I need to hear that little 5-second theme song they got. I need to hear it. I need to hear it. I need to hear it.
I like to hear the theme songs too. I ain't gonna lie. I like to hear like at least a piece of it, and then I'll be good.
Yeah, because I'll be in here like family business.
Like they be the best part. That was part of the experience of watching television shows back in the day. Is for you to know the theme song of the show. It eases you in there. It settles you down into the show that you're about to watch. Okay, people not putting in enough time and effort into that. Take us into it. But yeah, like you said, they let you.
Had a damn theme song that I low key kind of remember, not the whole thing, but like I remember just like the, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I think it's like about the groove of it too, like you said, getting you settled into it. Like you kind of get hyped when the music come out, like depending on the type of show it is, of course, but like if it was a show that's supposed to be funny, the theme music was usually kind of like a bubbly type of thing that kind of just like, oh, okay, let's,
Remember when 50 tried to get cute and change Joe to Trey Songz and he got bullied and he changed it right back?
Yeah, I remember that.
We
That should let you
boycotted.
know.
We was upset. Oh, you don't put Joe back on there, please. And that not that
Exactly.
goat, not Trey song. Put please and
Yeah,
thank you.
some of us take these theme songs very, very seriously. Oh, and we ain't gonna
Yeah.
act like all that and Keenan and Kel ain't have no good theme songs, okay? You let that play. Let it play. That's so Raven. You let that play.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of their theme songs. It's not coming in.
Proud Family theme song. Black people gonna do
Proud,
it.
proud family. Now I remember that one.
Okay, Destiny's Child.
Okay, DC.
We gonna let the theme song ride. So y'all excuse us, okay? We have to take a moment for us, TV fans over here, because the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was in this was in our era of good television shows, and they don't be making TV shows like this. You had to have a good television sitcom to also spawn off a good reimagining, and they turn it into a drama and it's still good.
That part.
You had to have
The
made
base
a good
matters.
one.
The base matters.
Yeah.
And I think they did a great job at the reimagination. I know some people wasn't feeling it, but I think they did a good job in casting. I mean, look at the end when he
Yes.
made himself older. That was like genius. Like, come on. That was dope. And they damn near looked alike too. I was like, damn, they really do almost look alike in this.
I said they did good. There was good casting with this all the way around. Like good casting.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh yeah, we ain't gonna forget. I love his brother.
We are
Happy
brothers.
and we're singing, we're
We're happy
colored.
and
Happy and we're
we're
singing and we're
colored.
colored.
Give me a high five.
The facts alive. The facts alive.
Yeah.
Yes, love it.
Theme
Yeah,
songs were great.
So yeah, I need them. This is a blueprint of reimagining, y'all. It's a blueprint.
It really is. I honestly feel, and I don't have no inside, nothing. Like I said, I wish the show would have went on longer, but I feel like most writers know they beginning and they end, and then sometimes we got to put something in or take something out as far as the middle and all of that. And I feel like I don't blame the actors, the writers, the producers, or any of them. I feel like they worked with what they could and they put in with what they could once they found out that this is going to be the last season. And I think they did to the best of their ability, and it was unfair to them. It's unfair to us, okay? But I think they worked with it, as best they could to tell the story, because some things definitely ticked me off. Like I said, the first half I was a little, the last half, baby, I was in here starting to get a little bit tears in my eyes.
Yeah, I was
different
crying.
parts. Yes. But I absolutely love this cast. I love it. I really do. And I feel like they could do a spinoff if they wanted to. Like y'all was mentioning earlier, we could have seen Will and Carson in college or whatever. But Peacock didn't want to do it, so it is what it is.
Peacock and King Rock. People would watch it if even if they did a spinoff. Like this would be a great, like, spinoffs would be great for this. I think.
Oh yeah, because there's definitely a lot more stories to be told. Because they could have gave us an epilogue. They could have said, "We got one more week. We're gonna give y'all an hour and a half epilogue. We're gonna put, since y'all like the time hop so much, we're gonna go fast forward to just give us a good wrap up of everything." Y'all could have did that, but they did the series wrong, especially how they released it. I'm gonna take up my gripes with Peacock later because they could have gave us a little bit more. We ain't gonna spend a whole lot of time on Lisa, but I really do feel like they wanted us to get something out of her story this season, because we kept seeing her in different facets of her life. Like Amira called her out for being, a little Miss Goody Two Shoes, and a perfectionist just as hard as of Carlton at times. And Amira, Amira, just because you don't give a damn about your life, don't come in here trying to make Lisa feel bad because she's done the right thing. And everybody don't want to end up in a detox facility like you did. Okay, don't be mad at her because she came from a good family, and that got into Lisa's head. She feeling like, oh, well, now I have to do something crazy because I have this really good image. Like that's a whole big problem. But peer pressure at that age is a whole other thing. And then even Lisa thinking about the relationship that she has with Will. Now I was with her on this because she's going to Lisa's also going to HBCU. I believe she's going to Howard, HU. Let's go. I'm team HBCU. Y'all didn't know. I'm always going to advocate for my HBCUs. Savannah State, stand up. Always be there for it. And Will is going back to Philly to go to a D1 school because he wants to be an athlete. And I'm not sure how many people still kicked it with their high school sweethearts, but let me tell you something. Once you go to college, like the show said, it's a different world, especially if you go to a HBCU. They didn't lie. Once you leave, the high school ain't like college. You get there, it's a whole different world. You're going to meet new friends, new men, new networks, new teachers, new jobs, live different places, have different experiences in life. You are no longer under the guise and overshadow of your parents in your hometown. You have the freedom to be who you are and pursue your passion and your purpose in a different area. Well, yeah, not Philly, Pennsylvania. Yeah, he's going to Penn State. But he'll be close enough to, home. But yeah, Will is leaving California, going back to Pennsylvania, and she's gonna be in DC. So it's only fair to not be trying to hold somebody becoming an adult to the standards that you had as a child, because you're going off to college to grow up, and in your relationships you formed as a child, things may not always pan out the way that you want to. Sometimes it do. It ain't always gonna be that way though. It's not gonna always work out in that manner. Candy, how did you feel about Lisa and Lisa under the guise of peer pressure, and also Lisa as it's okay to say it's time to, like you said, so you got no one to hold them, got no one to fold them.
I appreciated them, separated, even though it was off of some bull crap in that island, Smash Island. I appreciated them saying, okay, I'm just an hour and a half of a train ride away. We still want to see each other. What else is there for them to do? I didn't expect them to keep dating, because their relationship was kind of rocky from the beginning anyway. The way it started out, with her dating Carlton,
right?
Like in Carlton. So, which is Will's brother, essentially, not just his first cousin. That's his brother. So I didn't, separate, go on your merry way and do what you got to do, because y'all have two different, y'all gonna grow up and be two totally different people to each other later on anyway. So, it really wasn't much, but I appreciate them letting go and growing up.
Right. And I did like that she also made amends with Jackie, because, Jackie is not your real enemy here. That was Will bouncing back between y'all. Okay. And that she was a girl's girl in that moment.
Yeah.
And allowed her, and let her know, like, even though you and your mom are not close, mine's not here at all. Like, there will be nothing between us. And as long as she has breath in her body, y'all can still form somewhat of a relationship. And being the girlfriend that Jackie needed, because Jackie strikes me as somebody who don't have a lot of friends anyway. And being a friend that Jackie needed at that moment, that was a big moment for Lisa there. DeMarcus, $5 super chat. Thank you, DeMarcus. Will and Lisa basically had a red table moment at the Smash Challenge, and Lisa was Jada and Kareem was August Alcina. Don't do them like that. Don't do her like that.
Gotta be somebody.
Yeah, no.
Don't do her like that. Tamika, how did you feel about Lisa and her character arc in the season?
I was a little disappointed. I expected more from Lisa. Like, just because Amara comes telling you, "Oh, girl, you the goody two shoes. You never do nothing." Woo, woo, woo. And I guess with Hillary also, talking about her and LaMarcus and how she had broke up with him when he went away, but then later, she circled back. She also ended up, of course, losing him as soon as they got back together. And then, saying if it's meant to be, then y'all will get back to each other. Listen, when y'all in damn high school, yes, it's funny because, like, two of my friends was with their high school sweethearts, had kids with them, married them, all of that. And then the rest of us, we never seen them damn people again. And then one guy that I knew from, like, around high school time, I ended up bumping back into him 20 years later. And it's like, we have to learn each other as we are now, because we ain't them high school kids. So I know both sides of it. I just feel like you're going to go away to school. You're going to meet different people. You're going to, do whatever the hell you're going to do. That's just life. Like, a lot of times, you're not going to be with that person forever. But I just, with this whole, whatever what was this night called? I've never heard of that damn night at all. Okay, y'all do things way different because ain't no way my mama was letting me go to no damn school night. Like, that confused me so much because what was we going to be doing up in these rooms, child? And the teachers and counselors was walking past? I don't know. But anyway.
My parents ran a tight ship. I know I wasn't going. I know I wasn't going to be there.
Yeah, that was stupid to me because Will and Lisa could have did the same thing that Carlton and Amara did. They could have just been like, I choose him, no, I'm not going with you. They didn't have to go through with it. So I just feel like it showed how, much they are still going into the peer pressure and being down and, doing what everybody else is doing because nobody wasn't really forcing either one of them to do it. And then, and Will already knew the girl had interest in him. She already came up to him, flashing her titties, when they was over at the damn market. So, but at the end of the day, he ended up turning her down. And I guess Lisa saw Child Smash Island, because it wouldn't have been, my mother would have been like, you better smash your ass in that room. But anyway, so yeah, I just kind of was like, damn, she fell into the peer pressure just easy like that. Like, you worried about what everybody else is thinking. She didn't really give me that initially, but then it's also they all trying to find themselves, and she like, I could get out here and have fun too. What do y'all mean? Because they was calling her auntie. I ain't see nothing wrong with her getting on the little dance, thing and showing another side of herself. But at the same time, it just was like, if you was gonna do that, then you was gonna do it regardless. And, maybe because she was mad and disappointed in herself, then that's why she took it out on Will. And then he also lied, to say that he did something that he didn't do. So they both was just showing that they were still both immature and that, we wasn't going to run away together and get married. Thank God. I'm glad that they didn't. And I'm glad they was able to bring it back around and be like, listen, you're going to do your thing. I'm going to do my thing. Maybe, who knows? You ain't that far from me. You're about an hour and a half, 2 hours away from me. We could visit each other sometime. And that's it.
I'll see you at homecoming.
Right.
That's all I got for us. I'll see you at homecoming. We'll meet up then, and then that's about it. EJ, final thoughts on Lisa?
Yeah. I mean, we definitely, I honestly, I don't know why I never really gravitated towards Lisa. Lisa was never one of my favorite characters at all, but I thought it was nice seeing, the full circle and everything. Yeah, it was dumb at the lock-in when they decided to participate in the Smash Island challenge. I was like, y'all stupid. Like, this is gonna go way left, and it did. And it just goes to show that at the end of the day, some people may end up being together. Like, there are such things as high school sweethearts, and it happens, but some people just not. Some people are going to grow apart, and, you're going to go on and find that what you liked when you were this person is not going to be the same thing later. Like, it just is what it is. I love the fact that they decided to do that for themselves. And who knows, if it's meant to be, it'll be, but if it's not, then it won't. And at this point they can still be friends. And I love that for them.
Absolutely. Moving right along, we got to talk about Aunt Viv, because she had a lot going on this season. Because at this point, all your kids is grown, graduating in high school, and your ass about to start all the way over. Starting all the way over. Pregnancy is different after a certain age. She going all the way back. We got to see how protective she was over her family. I think this is the most family involved Aunt Viv has been, because in the previous seasons we've seen her trying to make it seem like I'm a career woman and I want to focus on my job and my art and stuff. And some of them kids is falling by the wayside a little bit. And then now this pregnancy come in and she's just like, oh, I might need to see what's going on with these kids. And I might need to lock in with my family at this point. Like, the oldest child is all the way in Costa Rica. These boys are trying to graduate. Ashley is all over the place. Like, I don't even care about this damn new baby because y'all ain't even paying attention to me. So what you mean? Y'all gonna want me to raise the baby? I don't know what are we doing here? Because you sure enough don't be here enough to be doing stuff. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do here. And then she's going through grieving because her mother was there with her with the the birth of her other kids, and she's not here anymore. And that's when Hillary calls in the doula and tries to lock in. And good thing that Hillary locked in with her health, because when it comes to Black women, and then they tried to say they got the best doctor ever, and this doctor was still culturally incompetent. And I completely understand where they was going through that, because I seen somebody say doctors are to Black women as police are to Black men. They really will have you down and out, and it don't matter how much money you have, because we've seen that happen with like Serena Williams. The doctors almost failed her. The doctors almost failed Beyonce. I understand as well, like doctors pretty much failed me. My regular doctor wasn't there because Trinity was on her way before the due date, so she was day late dollar short, and I had to request a C-section because they were just gonna let me sit there in pain and labor for however long and not do anything. They failed on my epidural and didn't find out till later on. Oh yeah, we didn't put it in all the way. It was like leaking and stuff. Like, these problems are real, and I'm glad that Hillary came back in there and was just like, "Nah, mom. Like, if you have these symptoms, like, we're gonna see about them for real." And I also like that even though they switched the gender of the baby, instead of the little boy Nicholas, now we have, I think they said Nicolette, or would they say her mom? I think that was the name, but
Yeah.
they still,
Nicolette. Yeah.
yep, Nicolette,
Mhm.
but they still named her baby Nikki, and we got this little beautiful little chocolate baby here.
Mhm.
I'm just like, oh look, a baby that looks
Mhm.
like that could be their kid. I'm like, I had to throw this little chocolatey baby here, but Aunt Viv was on her mama bear stuff this season, and I'm really glad to see that, and not her trying to come in on the back end after the stuff already happened. Like, she was just like, I really need to lock in on my children. I can be a career woman. I can have my job. Because Aunt Viv didn't have to prove nothing to nobody. We know you about your business. We know you're an artist. We know you're educated. And then sometimes it's time to see about what's really going on with your children too. EJ, tell us about Aunt Viv.
I liked Aunt Viv. I've always liked this character. I thought she did an amazing job bringing Aunt Viv to life. I loved her this season. Listen, ain't no way in the world I would ever start over, but more props to those who do. There's no way though they can leave them kids where they at. No. Anyway, but I thought that this was interesting. I love the play on. I love that we still got baby Nicholas, but baby Nicolette. Like, I love that they changed that particular part of it. I thought that was cute. And I just love the fact that Aunt Viv was able to be there for each one of her kids in different ways, the way that they needed her to be there for them. And that's the way it really is. Like, every kid is different, and you have to show up for them in different ways. And I love that for her. And the icing on the cake was getting OG Aunt Viv, not the other Aunt Viv. I think she came in here at some point though too, didn't she? In one scene. But I loved having OG Aunt Viv. Was really nice as the doula or the midwife. I love that.
Yeah, we talked about OG Aunt Viv coming in at the beginning for the paying homage, but yeah, they had both Aunt Vivs appear on the series as well. Tamika, how do you feel about Aunt Viv this season and her seeing her being more of a mom role than we have the whole series?
I liked it. I definitely, it was different things with really, well, maybe not Ashley, but most of the characters that I was able to relate to, and I think that was what was making me get more sentimental too. But I definitely understood. It's funny because my mom, child, so many of my family members that has happened to, that there's a big separation. The other kids is grown, and then they having a new one, or it's the ones that didn't start so way later. in life, and they was like, why the hell did I wait? And my mother used to always say, oh, when your son gets 20, then you gonna have another one, and that never happened. Okay, he's the only damn child, because baby, I had a high risk pregnancy. I went through all kind of craziness when my pregnancy was very scary, and I think that's probably why I only ended up having one. I used to say, oh, I'm gonna have a football team. After I went through all that stuff, I was like, oh yeah, no. But I liked how they shined a light on the fact of geriatric pregnancy, 35 and older, which is kind of crazy. Like, if you ain't having it before then, it's like she was saying she ain't like the name. I've never really been too crazy about that name either, but I get the point. And also the negligence with the doctors. That's a real thing. We've been seeing that more and more in real time. I think it's being talked about more and shown more now because people was acting like it's all in your head, and like, when Hillary was on the live and they was like, oh, Serena, like you just mentioned, Beyonce. So it has nothing to do with even if you have money, even if you have a certain status, like they still just are very ignorant to Black and brown women. A lot of the times the statistics show it. So I'm glad they shined the light on that part. Then her missing her mother and being like, damn, my mom was here for all the other births and she's not going to be here for this one. And the fact that she was like, is it okay that I'm saying that and I'm grown? And I'm literally yelling at the TV like, yes, girl, it don't matter how old you are. It's okay for you to miss your mama and want your mama here, especially when with all your other kids, she was there. And now that's something that was missing. So I like seeing that aspect. I like how, she was just trying to have different conversations with Will, with Carton, with Ashley, with Hillary, all in different ways. Hillary also making sure like I'm here and trying to give her the natural things and her advocating for her. The only thing I was like, now, why wasn't y'all teaching these boys this a little bit before now? We gonna wait till the 9th damn hour to be like, oh, we gotta teach them about life, and he be putting 3, Tide Pods in with the laundry. I was like, y'all should have been telling them that, but other than that, I liked it. I liked how she felt like safe with the original, OG Aunt Viv, and felt like, oh, it's something about your spirit that reminds me of my mother, and how kind of seeing her mom when she was giving birth, saying, I'm here. I teared up with that part. I loved it.
And definitely, it was a good scene. Let me see real quick. Yeah, DeMarcus. Yeah, you late because we threw in our little
tribute. We
definitely
discussed that.
That we had with the OG Aunt Viv and Tyra Banks coming in the series, and Carlton dancing and Will dancing and the handshake. So yeah, we got our moments of nostalgia from the OG series, because I think they did a really good job of paying tribute to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and giving all their little nods to the cast member and the things that made the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air what it was. I'm glad that they took a moment to come to throw these little things in here for the people who were fans, us millennials who clung tightly to the reason why it was one of our favorite sitcoms. They threw those little nods in there to kind of let us know, like, we see you. And we know that we can wrap things in the show, and we gonna know y'all see these little Easter eggs. We gonna know y'all gonna see it, and we gonna love it. So yes, definitely.
Yeah. And that's what frustrated me. I'm sorry. I just want to add, that's what frustrated me even more with Ashley and her freaking mess, because we've seen Aunt Viv not even know how she felt about the pregnancy. Like, this is coming out of nowhere. All these years I ain't get pregnant. I'm pregnant now. She didn't even know. She was even saying to her friend, like, this is something that I feel like I'm supposed to be happy about, but I don't necessarily know if I'm happy. Like, I don't even think she knew whether she wanted to keep it, what she was feeling. And Ashley over here like, oh, you ain't going to say you pregnant? Like, babe, sit your ass down and stay out of my damn business. I ain't even get a chance to talk to my husband. That irritated the hell out of me, child.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yes. Candy, your thoughts on Aunt Viv and her experiencing hopefully this baby, look, the last pregnancy, baby Nikki, this is it for her, and starting all over, dealing with the complications from this pregnancy, and really locking in on her family, because she was not having it with Jeffrey this season and his food. She just said, I can't, you bringing some things to my doorstep that don't need to be there, and right now I got to focus on protecting my household and making sure these kids that are in my care are safe.
Yeah. So just a little and I've said this before. Well, no, I think I have. So I'm the only child by 11 years. So my parents had kids all three back to
Wow.
back. And then 1981, here I come. So, and I said
Wow. So
I
you
would
baby
never,
Nikki.
yeah, I'm baby Nikki, okay? But I said I would never do that to my children, and I did. My son was 16 when I had my daughter.
So you started all over.
So I got another. I'm Aunt Viv, and then my 10-year-old is baby Nikki. Okay, so
Goodness.
I see Aunt Viv. I see it. I feel it, and I had all kind of complications when I was 35 with Dallas and pre-eclampsia and all that shit. I had everything going on too, child. Listen, that was the worst. Ooh, Lord, no, ma'am. I don't want no more. Okay, don't do it. But I understand, how she was feeling. She became like mother hen. Like, now I'm pregnant with this child. I gotta protect this baby. I gotta protect myself. Phil got this embezzlement shit going on. I'm typing in the computer talking to Jeffrey. What will I lose when my husband goes to jail for it? She's just she's all over the place. And then it's like talking to Jeffrey, like, hey, bro, I see you messed up. Like, what am I going to do with my baby? Like, is my baby going to be my baby? Am I going to jail too? She was really mother hen this season. She honed in on the boys. Y'all need to, help Phil out because he lost his father at the age he is now, through a heart condition. If he asks you to do something, do it. Be there, be present, be there for him. Even with Hillary, the roles were reversed with Hillary. Hillary became the mom to Aunt Viv. Like, she took care of her, and I'm glad she came back home to do so because Aunt Viv needed it. Because she really wasn't advocating for herself. She just thought she had having pregnancy pain. She was gonna let the doctor say, "Okay, all right, that's what it is."
And was.
Her child was like, "No, if something don't feel right, if you see something, say something." And I appreciated the roles reversing on that. DeMarcus, see, stay out the comments. That was a squirrel moment. I'm sorry. Squirrel. But anyway, Aunt Viv, I appreciated her this season because all the other seasons she was really she was trying to be a career woman behind her husband and didn't know how to navigate it. So I appreciated her being able to navigate motherhood, all over again.
Right, because like I said we seen it. Like, we know you're a professional. We know you can make your little couple dollars when you need to. But when you got two boys graduating, a grieving oldest child, you pregnant with another one, and the youngest one out here fighting white kids at school, you got to lock in.
Okay, because your house was in shambles and didn't even know it.
Exactly. And then you got your husband out here involved in criminal activity. Like it was time to lock in. It was time to check in with the household right now. And I'm glad she did. Like, I need to just set this to the side. I'll hop back in the game in a minute. But right now, first and foremost, you got to get the house in order. And last but not least, y'all, save the best for last. We got to lock in on Will. Jabari, very good job. He was an amazing Will Smith. Like,
yeah,
I'm here. I was, yeah. He definitely deserves a round of applause. Yes, Jabari Banks.
Bells.
Jabari Banks, and who was also from Philadelphia, and who in real life has an Uncle Phil. He did an amazing job fulfilling this role. I am very proud of the work that he did. He embodied who we saw in the 90s of Will Smith. He made sure he had Will's mannerisms. He made sure he had his style. He made sure he had his sense of humor and his sense of family. And being in everybody. Will, I'm telling you, this was a nosy ass child. In every damn body business, your life falling apart, but you all over here in everybody business. You meddling in Hillary and Jazz life. You over here with Carlton and Amira. What he doing? What he over here pill popping? You over here trying to see what's going on with Jeffrey. Like, Will, you in everybody business. And I'm glad. Exactly. Just nosy ass Will. But he also at the same time. I'm glad he made the decision that just because the schools give you a full ride if it didn't feel comfortable and safe, don't do it. Like the courage to stand up for yourself and say, like, you know, thank you, but no thank you. Like it is my future at the end of the day. And even though it seems like a good opportunity, that don't make it a good opportunity for me. I got to choose what my future is going to look like. And him being able to embrace his father. Marlon Wayans, you made a really good Lou. Lou was able to redeem himself like he did not in the sitcom. Everybody wanted Will Smith to come back and play, you know, his father Lou, but I think Marlon Wayans did a very, very good job. Y'all sleep on Marlon Wayans as an actor. This man is a
turkey, okay?
Mhm.
He brought that turkey. He saved Thanksgiving.
He did. He
He
redeemed
did.
himself as a father in this show, and shows how you have to, if you've stepped away from your family and you need to reintegrate. This is a way to do it. This is how you do it. You have to and you have to keep trying, because you're the one who made the decision to step away. You have to make the decision to come back in there, and by all means, and humble yourself. It's about the child, not you and your ego. If the child ain't feeling you that day, okay, give him a space to come back tomorrow. That is, it's going to be on you. And I love the relationship between Will and Carlton, and Will and Jazz. They had such a good friendship together, and him always allowing Jazz to step in and say, Will, you need to do better. Him always saying, Will, I got your back, but you got to step up. And Will even being able to let Lisa go and saying, like, I care about you, but we have our own paths to walk, and I love you, but you know, I'll see you at homecoming. Will had a very good character arc, because he was wild. When we met Will, he was fresh off the streets of Philly. He had a damn badass attitude. He ain't want to listen to no damn body. He had a quick temper, and I'm proud of the young man that he became throughout this show, and that he was so, even though he knew he was setting up himself for a future, he still didn't want to leave. He didn't want to leave the family that supported him in his time in Bel Air. Like, he really had a chance to grow and see what it was like, because he was the only child and it was just him and his mom. So he really didn't understand what it was like to be able to have that 2-parent household, to be able to have another man truly have your back with Uncle Phil, because Phil had his back.
Yeah.
Phil and Jeffrey had his back. And they said, just because, you know, your dad may have stepped away, but you got us here. We're here now. And
they loved him without conditions.
That it don't matter. You could get mad at us today, and yes, you are going to be grounded, but we still going to love you, and we're going to do anything for you. Like, we still got your back. So whatever you need, we're going to be here. We don't care how mad you are. We don't care what your grades look like. We don't care what you look like on the court. We are going to be here. And he had to truly learn that lesson. He had to learn what it was like to have a positive male role model. And I think that's what allowed him to love Lou.
Yeah.
That opened his heart to love Lou, thanks to Uncle Phil and Jeffrey being able to set the foundation for him to be able to accept that male presence in his life. And then for us to have Will come back at the end and to give him that reflection of, you know, we made some mistakes, but you're growing and you're gonna be okay. Like, I wish, like, myself in the future could tell my younger self, like, you're gonna be all right, to calm my anxiety down. Like, tell me, am I gonna be okay for real? Like just give me a nod to say I'm on the right path, so I'm gonna be okay. Like, that reflection of Will and Carlton and Jazz standing there and just kind of like overlooking the city and letting each other know, like, we're always going to be friends, like we're going to be boys forever. And then letting Will just have his one final goodbye, and Will giving us the cameo that we needed. And he did it at the right time and the right way. There were no complaints. This final episode brought everyone to tears, from them coming in and helping Will pack his bags, because sometimes it's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. And then having his final goodbye and Will Smith stepping in and giving us the cameo, because we were looking for him the whole series, and he said, I'm gonna give it to y'all when y'all least expect it. This was a very, very good wrap up, and I absolutely love the reimagining of Bel Air. EJ, I'm gonna start with you. how did you feel wrapping up the season? Will going to college. Will is growing up. Our young kid from Philly, cheesesteak eating Will, growing up.
Yes. This was dope. This was really, really nice. Again, I loved Bel-Air. I thought they did such a great job at this reimagination. I think Jabari Banks like embodied this whole Will Smith character. I think he did a great job. I loved how we finally got this. I love the scene where everybody's packing the bags. I love the goodbye scene when they're having the party. I love the part when they decorated the rooms, and when we get the backstory of Carl and Will to see that Will really was the one who was naturally gifted, whereas Carlton was the one who really, really had to work really, really hard at it, when all along it always seemed like Carlton was the smart one put together, you know what I mean? Like, and to see that it was really a flip thing, and to see at the end where it's even more flipped, where we get Carlton going to an HBCU and Will going to an Ivy League, like all of that was just, I don't know. I thought that they did an amazing job at that, because it made a lot of sense. I love the cameo at the end with Will Smith, with him looking at his future self and you know, knowing that it was going to be okay. I thought it was perfectly done. I love that he and Jazz, I love the fact that they finally brought up the fact that Jazz is a grown ass man with this damn teenage best friend. Because I was like, is anybody ever gonna really talk about that? Or are we just gonna just ride? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
And I think because you know, in the show they were about like the same age, but I think that they did that so that he could have that mentorship, because Will was wild. And you know, he was out here, and I think that somebody, even an adult but closer in age, to kind of help rein his glass in.
Adult-ish is what we'll call it. Adult-ish. But I love the fact that they actually addressed it and made it make sense. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I was cool with it regardless, but I was just like, are we ever gonna pay attention to the fact that this man is, you know, he's not in high school. But regardless of the fact, I love that part about it. And I like that Will figures it out in the end. You know, that he figures it out, and that he realizes that all that time he was fighting against it, that, you know, this really is my family. Like, this is my family, not just my cousins, but they're literally intertwined like siblings at this point. And that Uncle Phil only had his best interest at heart, and that Jeffrey had his back when he needed to have his back. Like, everybody sacrificed for Will because they wanted to. I don't know if you want to call it sacrifice, but you know what I mean? Like, everybody came through. They didn't have to do any of this, but they did. Even when Will was pushing them away, even when Will was acting out, even when Will was wilding out, they still always came through, like Uncle Phil, time after time after time. And I do like the fact that we gave Lou a different arc. Like, because I was wondering, because everybody knows that is one of the most powerful scenes that ever happened in the OG Fresh Prince, right? That, for all intents and purposes, that was a comedy, and a lot of times we laughed at the show, but that was one of the times that you really, really was crying. And I was like, are we finna do that again here? Are we finna give Lou a different path? And I like that we gave Lou a different path and showed that there is a path to forgiveness, and that it doesn't always have to be a negative connotation tied to it. Like, it started out that way, but that there can be, like, you don't always have to, like, it doesn't have to stay that way. Like, there can be forgiveness, and people can move forward, and it can be positive, right? But at the end of the day, Uncle Phil was always a constant in his life, and Uncle Phil is still that father figure that he needed. But Lou also is somebody that he needed too, because he is his real father. But not only that, he's willing to open up his heart and give him a chance. I liked the arc of it. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it at first if they had did it a different way, but I did like that. And I think Marlon Wayans was excellent for Lou. I'm so glad that they went that route with it. And then as far as everything else is concerned, I love that Will made a different choice. He made a different decision. He didn't just go with the school that accepted him, but he wanted something more for himself. And I like that about him. I like that he was always concerned about his future and trying to make sure that he had one. So well done, whoever created and did all of this. I can't think right. I don't remember the names. I know there was one guy who brought the idea and then other people who brought it to life, but well done to all of it. Everybody who had a part in this. It was dope.
Yes. Somebody in the chat. I need y'all. I need somebody to do some research, because there is the gentleman that came up with the concept of Bel-Air reimagining, and he put out a trailer for it years ago.
Yeah,
and,
I saw that.
Yep, and Will Smith saw it. Some producers saw it, and they said, "Let's make it happen." Somebody find that young man's name, because I cannot think of his name, but I definitely want to give him credit for him thinking of the concept, because I'm so glad he did, and it sat with him enough that he made a fan trailer, and you just never know where your ideas can take you.
Yes.
You just never know what your creativity can do.
Morgan Cooper.
There it is. There it is. Morgan Cooper. Morgan Cooper. Thank you, young man, for that. Thank you so much for giving us Bel-Air.
Shine a light on him.
DeMarcus in the chat being a troll.
Yeah.
Aunt Vi was trying to control Will through Lou, and threw Lou under the bus. I mean, yeah, Aunt Vi wasn't the best partner with Lou there in the beginning, because Lou really went to jail because he was trying to get heat in the house or something. She said the house was cold, but they was rocky relationship and young and whatnot. So I really don't even feel like Lou should have went to jail for that. That's just me.
Girl.
You can't survive, okay?
Lou was trying
hard out here for a pimp.
Exactly. Lou was just
trying to get the money for the rent.
Right. Lou was just trying to take care of his child. And Vi had put the pressure on him. Now, I'm not saying that you go do criminal activity, but
that's exactly what you just said, Kate. You said it's okay. I'm just joking.
But sometimes for your children, okay, some people, you got to go the extra mile. Okay. I'm not mad at Lou. Okay. Phil, if anything, Phil should got his ass out of jail. Helped him get out sooner for doing that. I said, but yeah, and it doesn't mean you have to, because Aunt Vi over here talking about Lou been calling. Girl.
Yeah, they could have left that part out.
Girl.
They really could have left that part out, honestly. That's the
I don't
only
think
part
she gotta get back with them now.
Sure. Like, live your life. I liked her saying she had different friends. She had a list that she could choose from. She wasn't just going to sit there with just Mr. Gerald. I ain't mad at that. But even Lou calling too, no, girl, hang up the damn phone. Okay, block him. The only one he needs to be calling is Will. Like, no.
Exactly.
I don't know about him and Will's relationship getting strong.
Her 304 phase. I disagree. She has not been a 304. She is being a woman of a certain age. That means she having sex with the man. That means she's just, entertaining Lou for whatever reason.
I
don't think that's a 304. I really don't.
She is an empty nester, and she's trying to have a life for herself.
Yeah,
Mama gotta have a life too.
Right. I didn't have no problem with none of that. The only thing she irritated the hell out of me, I said, "Don't come in here with that foolishness, Ma," is when she was cutting Will off when he's telling her about the decision, and she hung up in his face. I thought that was out of pocket, and I thought they could have left the Lou situation out. Other than that, live your life. You did what you was needed to do. Your child is grown now. You said you focusing more on you. You taking your dancing lessons. You out here in these streets. It is what it is.
Right. Tamika, your thoughts on Will?
Oh gosh, it was so much with Will. First of all, Will had PTSD, child.
Yes, and they dropped that story off after the first couple of episodes. I said, if we're gonna get him a therapist or something,
right.
He was kidnapped off the street. Like they was digging deep and they was showing us like what happened. Like that's one of the things that we should have had more episodes about, because Will was deep in the trenches of PTSD, and then they just dropped the story off after he got arrested. Like we don't talk about it no more.
Yeah. That part was kind of frustrating, because the biggest thing that I remembered, and it was so funny because I think some people saying, when did Will get kidnapped? I don't remember that part of the story. And I'm like, that's the one thing I did remember. Some of the other stuff I didn't. And I kept saying, like, I hope it ain't going to be no time jump, which it was. And I was like, I hope we ain't going to act like this just, didn't happen. But I did appreciate that he was going through the PTSD and we were seeing the flashbacks and he's worried about where Jeffrey is, but where he was typical Will that we know he is, but was also irking my nerves. If Phil and them is looking and trying to do what they could do, what make you think that you gonna have a high authority? You over here, oh, I got the screenshot of the license plate. You know, we just know he gotta be detective. That he gotta try to figure things out. But also seeing him going through the motions, you know, at different times he's staring off into space and they like, oh, it's happening again. I didn't understand why we didn't have him in therapy. I'm just saying, I definitely agree with that part because we knew that it was an issue and he wasn't really, you know, over it, which going through something like that, I wouldn't be over it either. And we don't know where Jeffrey is at. And then you decide when you get the information that you're going to be, you know, sitting out in the car staring and coming out in the dark with a damn bat like Beyonce beating up the car. I'm like, child, like, where are we going with this, Will? What the hell are you going to really do?
Because how was that processing? All I did was get ass arrested.
Exactly. I did like that, you know, Lou showed up when he heard about it. And of course, he want to be, if I want my son to get arrested, he can get arrested in Philly. Listen, your damn son just be doing the damn most sometimes, Lou. But, you know, he did come in with the save, with the turkey. And that was so hilarious to me, him and Phil going back and forth, because he feels like it's so much time that he lost with, you know, Will, and Phil knowing his history and then feeling like, oh, well, he said he want to talk to Lou since he got arrested. And Viv was like, well, that kind of makes sense because at the end of the day, you know, Lou experienced what he experienced, but them going back and forth with the prayer and all that other stuff, I was dying laughing. I said, now y'all doing
that Lou and Uncle Phil was doing way too much.
Yeah,
way too much.
But you know, and Marlon, I think he did do a good job playing Lou. This what was he? The coach, he pissed me off because, you know, we didn't get into one place. We thinking like, okay, yes, we'll, you know, paid. I can do my business. I can do the basketball. But then he basically said, I don't give a damn about the business. Okay, what you gonna do is bring your ass in here, play ball, win me some games. And a lot of times they are like that. My brother went through it with football. They, you know, he wasn't concerned about the rest of it. So I appreciated that. The old Will probably would have still been like, oh, okay, whatever, because basketball used to be his most important thing. But in this situation, he like, I want to be able to do both, but I also want to be able to go into business. So I don't think this is the route that I want to go. And that's when his mama pissed me off, because I was like, what are you not understanding about this? And then, you know, the conversation that he had with Phil made more sense to me. And of course, you know, Dumb ended it off like full circle with, first of all, Carlton said, oh, hell no, you ain't leaving me. I'm going with you, okay? I'm going to spend a couple weeks with you out here. I thought that was cute. And
after I done made your life hell for so many years,
right?
Now.
And I'm gonna wear your stuff and bother you.
My whole hater, they whole life, but we friends now.
Yes. And the full circle, you know, with him and Jazz. Jazz was the one that picked him up and that showed him this whole, you know, skyline. So to start back to be with him, I loved all of that. I was definitely tearing up, and of course the cherry on top was when Will walked up and they was, you know, conversing back and forth. And it's like how they always say, what would you say to your younger self? So him kind of just letting him know, like, we gonna do some dumb shit. No, we far from done. There's more stuff that's coming up at us. We gonna act a damn fool out here in these streets. We gonna make a lot of mistakes, but we gonna be okay. Oh, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I was like, now that was perfect. I'll take that. Yeah. I definitely loved it. And all of them. And then when he got so emotional, because he just was saying to Carlton and them on the beach, like, I don't like saying goodbyes. So to come home and they celebrating him and, you know, trying to throw this party, he got overwhelmed, you know, and he didn't want to say goodbye. And then them saying, nope, we still ain't done with you, and coming in the room to help him pack after his mama even ran off with that. Because he was asking her to help him pack earlier. She was like, no, I think I hear the baby crying.
He's like,
and then they all came back in together. I love that. And he is such a great actor, because even when he was having the hard time coming up with the speech, and he did that little improv when he went into the different voices, like, you knew who he was. I think he did Obama at one point. I can't remember everybody, but you knew who he was portraying when he was doing that. I was like, yo, he really is definitely good. I can't wait to see what other, you know, stuff he's gonna get out here into.
Very, very talented Jabari
Mhm.
Banks. Yeah, I definitely hope that we see him in more things because he definitely he I can see he can immerse himself in a role, and those are the actors that I really like. Like
Yeah.
if we gonna be in there, commit to the role. And
Mhm.
he definitely did and gave us the spectrum of emotions. Like he played, silly Will. We got to see him in Carlton, dancing and stuff. We got to see his athleticism. We got to see him. He's very talented. Like he was playing the piano. We've
Mhm.
seen him in the season. Um, and I like somebody was saying like Will was the one that was just like naturally talented. Like he don't have to work hard to just be that guy. Will is him. Like
Yeah.
like Will was really him, and he didn't have to work hard to really be him.
Yeah.
And he really was. And then that's what made Carlton so jealous of him their whole lives. That Will was like really him, and Jabari was able to play all these different facets of Will, and then give us those moments of people looking at the TV crying, tears running down their eyes when he was just like the emotions was just getting too overwhelming. And I feel like that was such a young black man response was to run. Because think about it, that's on brand with character. Because
Yeah.
every time during the season something happened with him, he's gone. I'm going out the house. I'm running away. Like it
Yeah.
was just so on brand for his character to just run. And they gave it to us at the very end. And that the family still showed up like, you can't run from us. Like you're not gonna run from us. That's okay. If you want to cry, we'll all cry together, but you can't run from us. So very, very good acting within this show and Jabari Banks. Candy, wrap up of Will here. Our boys growing up.
Yeah. Our baby is growing up. Can y'all hear me? Okay. Yeah, I from the beginning of the season 1, episode 1, you can see the growth in the character. Like you just said, he ran away. I think the first episode, he ran away because like this is not where I'm supposed to be. I'm not supposed to be out here in Bel Air. And then now he doesn't even want to leave Bel Air. I just appreciated seeing him grow up, his relationship with his father. Of course, I'm glad we didn't get the same relationship he had back in Fresh Prince because that would have pissed me off had we went there. I'm glad we got a rekindling relationship, one that we can grow and mature and nurture. I appreciate them doing that, instead of having it where he just don't have a father at all, like they did in the other one. Um, him, just becoming Carlton's brother, and then we know that, of course, we found out that he was the smart one in the beginning. From the time that we saw him, he just was so silly, and he played basketball, and he was all these different things that we didn't know he was intelligent. We didn't know he was very smart, but Carlton was the smart one that spoke eloquently, that had all these vocabulary words that he could use, but he had to work hard to do it, and he was always just one. Carlton was just one way, but Will was like 5 or 6 different people wrapped up in one. So he was just a multifaceted person altogether, and I do appreciate that them showing that he was all of that, and and was still able to get into an Ivy League school. Well, Carlton ended up going to an HBCU, which is our Ivy League, but still, he was still able to go there, and they went different routes. But we knew that we didn't know Will was the genius. Um, I just appreciate everything about him not wanting to settle for the school in California when his mama wanted him to settle. I'm glad he knew he had different options. I'm glad he was able to say, I want to be a businessman. I want to go to business school. I want to learn business. Because when they had Black Sis, it was all about business. Everything it was Will, he didn't want to be just find one way to make money. He wanted multiple ways to make money and to have generational wealth. And I'm glad he told a coach that, like, I'm looking for my future generations to come. And the coach flat out let him know, I don't care nothing about none of that. I want to win. I don't want to walk out with my white box and pink slip. I want to win, and that's what I need you to do. Help me win. So I was glad he was, he was speaking his mind. The bash and bash part, hey, it is what it is. You pulled me off the street, you had me. I need to find out who took me. I wasn't mad at that. I really wasn't. I appreciated him going to figure out who took me off the street, why I'm suffering from PTSD. Somebody bumping to me, I go out in the zone. Hey, somebody help me with this. He had to help himself. Hey, it is what it is. I'm glad he didn't get in any more trouble than he did. And I like the thing with Snoop Dogg being the mentor. Well, I forget what his title is for them going to that program and giving them real life stuff. Like y'all gonna go through this, and if you're late 3 times and you've been late twice already because both of y'all together. So y'all only had one more person only had one time to be late. And that's real life. You can lose your job for being late to work. So you go, just I appreciated everything was like a real life, is sort of speak for Will, and we got to see all that play out. His mom, Aunt Vi, not Aunt Vi. Yeah, that's what I hear. Aunt Vi. Aunt Vi. I ain't gonna call her trash, but why did you want your son to settle? Why do you want him to? You might well tell him to go sign up to be work for FedEx or something. Why do you want him to just do that? Why do you want him to settle for a full ride at a school that is not going to benefit him? So I'm glad he didn't listen to her. I didn't like her hanging up on him. However, it is what it is. We at Penn University of Pennsylvania now. And I appreciate. I like to see Will. I like this growth. He was annoying a lot of times, but that was Will in the real show, in the original. He was annoying. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Jabari did a very good job, round of applause to him. And then his last name Banks. So go figure.
Yes, he was, sometimes there are some roles that we're just meant to play. They're just some roles that are for us. And Jabari was meant to play Will Smith in this reimagining. And he did such a good job. Y'all drop in the comments below. Let us know, what are your overall thoughts of Bel-Air as a series? This was a good season 4. Like I said, they threw me for a loop. Season 3, I feel like they must got some new writers, and whoever it was, they fired their asses and brought back the other ones that they had in the first 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? One thing, when they started the season out, I'm like, why are we? It was a time jump. I think we should have started when he came home from being snatched off the street, but we had to see it in a flashback. I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
And I told y'all they was gonna do that. I said, if they ain't gonna give us but a few episodes and they got a lot to cover, I knew they was gonna do a time hop.
That's why we need them 2 episodes.
Because they should have taken us to that moment, and then they could have did a time hop after, like okay, like 6 months after this happened or a few months after the kidnapping, but like take us there. Like bring us into the fold of what, because it ended with Will's kidnapping, and we gonna just throw us back in there like it didn't happen, and then they just abandon the whole, him suffering from that. Like that's something that he's going to be dealing with for a long time. You don't just get over somebody abducting you off the street.
Yeah,
you don't get over.
I think
sorry, y'all, my
what they had to work with.
For them,
that's how I felt.
Yeah, and I think I mean, even though like they could have done more, but I think like if the network says you only get 8 episodes, you do what you can in those 8 episodes, even at the risk of maybe not giving a full story. I think they still did a really good job throwing in the flashbacks. I do agree with the abandonment of it because I don't feel like there was a resolution. I felt like he just like we just assumed that he got over it after Jeffrey came back, and that the problem was not knowing if Jeffrey was alive or not. Like that's how I took it. I took it like, okay, so Will's issue was more so of I left Jeffrey. Now I don't know if he's alive, but as soon as he saw that he was alive, when Jeffrey pops back up, we no longer see the flashback. So I took it as that was the issue, and now Will can move on because he knows that Jeffrey is okay. That's how I rationalized that. I don't know if that's what they was
I don't think that was the whole thing. I think that was a piece of it, and I think that they wanted to kind of bring it around because they probably knew they couldn't go into depth and sum it up as that, because we did also get a moment. It's almost like survivor's guilt. Like, okay, he saved me. I got away. I don't know where he is. And at the same time, you had Hillary going through survivors over LaMarcus. So it's even that moment where they sit at the table and they eating the cake and we say all the maybes, and Lord knows I have had some maybes in my day. So I definitely was able to relate to that. She's saying maybe if I would have dialed 911 quicker, if I would have did this or that quicker, and he's having his maybes, and whew, Lord, you could say 1,000 babies, but nobody knows because this is the way that it went. So that was also like a learning experience for them. And her being able to, go to Costa Rica was kind of her way to get through it. And yeah, when Jeffrey came back, and then Jeffrey even knew what they did with the car and was like, "Don't go your ass out there doing nothing else," and tried to cover it. But of course, it ended up coming back around.
Yeah.
Yes. They gonna need a man like, because Jeffrey was a savior to this damn family,
Yes.
because he definitely was one. But yeah, that was the moment at the beginning of the first few episodes where Hillary and Will both had their grief at the same time and their survivor's guilt, because they're both sending their feelings together. Because Hillary is, I'm upset because I could have checked on LaMarcus's health. I knew he had this health problem. I should have been more diligent about making sure that he was healthy. I should have checked in on him more. I should have, been spearheading, making sure that he was healthy and in good shape. And, maybe we should have been more closer to a doctor. Maybe we were too far away from the hospital. And Will is like, I shouldn't have left Jeffrey, and maybe they did something bad to him. Like he's hurt because of me. Like I shouldn't have been, because Will was being nosy Will snooping around, and they snatched Will up when they probably should have just went on ahead and take Frederick, and was like, maybe if I wasn't being so nosy and meddling in grown folks' business, I wouldn't have got snatched up. And then when Jeffrey came to save me, he told me to run, and my black ass ran. Maybe I could have stayed back and fought. No, you couldn't have, Will. You couldn't.
No, you definitely couldn't. Yeah.
And Hillary, LaMarcus shouldn't have been out there playing more football after he was in the hospital that first time. He should have sat his ass down then, and he kept going back thinking that he's Superman, and he wasn't. But see, that's what Hillary, I think she got her tools and her therapy and Costa Rica when she left, but I wish they would have let Will have a piece of something healing. But I guess him seeing Jeffrey was enough to be like, my bad that I left you, but you all right. You're going to be good. But y'all drop in the comments to let us know how were y'all feeling about this season as a whole, and then bringing the show to light. And also I want to know any ideas of what else they should do. Like we got a good reimagining of Bel-Air, and we know some things they just shouldn't touch. But if they should touch something else, what should it be? What can be a good solid reimagining? How can we take a sitcom and make it into a well-written, well-produced, well-styled, well-acted drama series for the culture?
I don't know, child. Y'all know how I'll be feeling about that. I'll give them their props when they do it right, but baby, some of these things I need to stop it. But I am looking forward to the whole A Different World we got coming up. But we see that mess they put out with that Good Times, baby. People got that shit up out of here quick, fast, and in the hurry. Okay?
But that was a cartoon, and I think that they did it all wrong. They should have never did that. Yeah, that was. They only slapped that on there to use the name to get people to come into it. But I think that was all the wrong move. Like I think that they could have done a good reimagination of Good Times, especially for a more modern era. If they did it the right way, it didn't need to be a cartoon. It should have been a regular television show with the right actors and good, strong writers. And that could have been another dope reimagination. And because that actually would have been a great one to redo in a modern era.
Well, especially the hardship people going through now with inflation.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
Instead they made it into
we
like
scratching and surviving right now. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see, Jabari Banks and Jordan L. Jones.
Oh, sorry.
As Marcus and Bad Boy remake. Nah, that's one of those things. We don't need to redo Bad Boy.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and plus the Bad Boys is not really like, you don't need a remake. It's not that old. Like it's not like it's a show that's just like, no, it has, you can only reimagine, to me, sitcoms. This was great because a sitcom is typically funny and it's short, it's all that type of stuff. But they took this and made it into a full-on drama. And that was great. And Different World is not going to be a reimagination. This is literally a spinoff.
A spinoff. Yep. This is gonna be a spinoff.
So it's a different.
Like what could be reimagining? New cast? Like the same format that they did with Bel Air. We're gonna retell the story in a different format. Like we're gonna do it in a more dramatic lens. So I don't
I don't think it's too many that you could really do like that. But like
Yeah.
Tamika's with the Good Times is a good one.
I think
honestly.
the Good Times could be
that
one
would have
with
been
good music.
perfect.
Because
can't
I
think of
really think that
too
could
many
fit
more.
the times of right now with people basically struggling right now with like just buying everyday groceries and people's, benefits and things being taken away and everybody having 2 jobs and a side hustle. Gen Z are still living home with their parents. Like I really think that if anything, they could make Good Times into a drama right now.
For sure, because the reimagination wouldn't even have to be about them being in the hood or the ghetto. I mean, to be
Right.
honest, middle class is struggling right now. You know what I'm saying?
We the
Like,
ghetto. It's us.
so they could redo that. Like I said, they could make it more modern and make it more for the time, and they would probably come out with something really, really great on this. Somebody should make a like Morgan did. Somebody needs to go ahead and make a little trailer thing so somebody can see it.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, Inga, nobody gave a damn about LaMarcus except for Hillary, girl.
They didn't really give us a lot of time with him. I mean, if we're just being real, like they didn't give us a lot of time with him. They kind of just sprung him on us. Even though, I mean, I had no problem with it. I mean, I wondered if they would bring this to life, and I think they did a good job at spinning it, because in the TV show I laughed. I ain't gonna lie, I laughed when Trevor went down. I was out I said, damn, Trevor. It was a funny moment. It wasn't like and the way Hillary reacted, but in this it was like a sad moment, her coming back over, ready to plan they're ready to plan their entire life. Like they're starting this new thing, and before it even gets all the way off, you know what I'm saying? Like he's just gone. Like that shit was sad to me. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
That was so sad. But yeah, I just don't think we connected to him because we didn't get a lot of time with him.
And Jazz was such a good guy as well. Jazz was such a good person that it was hard for him to come in and talk behind Jazz. Because like we talked about earlier, we don't see a lot of positive real male influences and relationships on TV, and Jazz was a good guy overall. He was family oriented, he was career driven, he was motivated, he was helpful, he was present, he was compassionate, he was patient with Hillary and all of her mood swings, and she's in and she's out, and the whole like he was really there. He was there for Hillary and her damn crazy ass nephew. Like Jazz
dropped the ball on that though, but that's all Jazz's fault. That relationship didn't work because of Jazz, because Jazz didn't feel comfortable enough in his own skin to recognize what he had. He should have did better. I like Jazz and all, but he dropped the ball with Hillary. That didn't have to go the way that it went. He did that. He was the one.
I think Hillary dropped the ball first, and then he just ain't picking back up.
I don't think so. He was the one who didn't believe. Like she was telling him and showing him that she was with him not because of what he could bring to the table or what he did or did not have, but he's the one who kept being all insecure like each and every time. Like that was all Jazz. That was his. That was all him.
But she was flaky first though. He got that way because of her, because in the beginning of their little
I think they both had their issues.
She was in, and then she was like, we out. Then she was like, let's be together, let's not be together, let's see what happens. Yeah.
But when she was in though, come on, Kay. When she was in. Like when they last part of their relationship before they broke up, she was all the way in. Jazz did that. I'm mad at Jazz still for that. He let LaMarcus back in the door. He said he held the door open.
Yeah, he gave her too much space for LaMarcus to come on in there. That's what that's why we needed a good wrap up, because I want them to find their way back to each other. And I
don't want no reboot of Living Single. I don't.
A reimagination of Living Single, I don't know how that works. I think that we've tried to have some good girl shows, but none of them have worked out, and they've all had strong casts. They've all had really like I don't know. I guess I like Harlem. But but that other one that they tried to do, I don't know. I ain't gonna
Run the
hate on 'em.
world.
I ain't gonna hate on none of them.
Run
They
the
all
World.
had their
We
own
did reviews
things.
on both of them.
They all had their own things. I just feel like they've tried to redo, not just like Living Single per se, but I think they've tried the idea and the concept of it, and nobody has just
But it
hit
don't
the
hit
mark
the
all the
same.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think I want them to mess with such an iconic thing like Living Single,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know. That's a hard one.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody can't do it, y'all. Okay.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, it's hard to it would be hard to do, especially when it's a really, really good sitcom.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have the right. Everybody ain't gonna have this type of formula. I mean,
Yeah.
even down to, like we said earlier, the way that they look. Like, if they didn't tell us who was playing who, the stylist made sure that they mirrored their character from the 90s, but their clothes
Mhm.
still look relevant to today. They
Yeah.
style, like, everybody ain't gonna get the complete details right, and it'll just be a shit show.
Yeah.
I
They
loved
really
how
did
they
do
had-
a good job. Like, this cast, they're beautiful. These are some
Mhm.
beautiful people. Okay, the chocolate, like all of the things that's happening the way it's supposed to. The clothes is good. The music is good. The cinematography is good. The writing is good. The acting is good. Like, yeah.
And all the little things are great. I loved when Carlton does the Carlton dance.
Oh, yes.
That was so fun.
I was so
I
hyped
love
to
that.
hear EJ. I was telling them earlier, my son come running up the stairs looking at the TV, looking like, Mom, really? I was like, yes, he's doing it.
Yeah, because I was wondering when the and I was like, we got like that little piece of it. I was like, come on. When he was yeah, I love that part. I was like, and they just did it so quick too. Like, you just had to really be paying attention. It was so freaking cute. It's like they did all the small things to make you really appreciate this.
Yes.
And they
I
did.
agree.
This was a really good show. Everybody ain't gonna have the formula to make it into what it would be.
Right.
I would say Girlfriends would be a good one, but I don't want to see a Girlfriends reimagining. I want to see a wrap up of their stories. Like, don't reimagine
they just need
it.
to
Finish it. Yeah,
one
finish
movie,
it for
because
me.
all the girls
they
still
never
look the
got a
same.
finale, right? I feel like they could do like a little movie or something.
Yeah, they just need one big movie for them, and that would be so perfect. And I think everybody would get their feel of it. They got all the girls, all like, they literally, when they did that promo for the pattern thing, I was so excited. I was like, please, somebody put it together. They just need their own movie. Don't give them a series. It don't need to be a series. It needs to be one movie of let's see where they all ended up at. Just finish the story, for crying out loud. I loved Girlfriends. That was like one of my favorites.
Yeah, Girlfriend, that's untouchable. Just don't just finish it. That's all I need y'all
just
to do.
finish it.
That's it.
They didn't finish that. They didn't finish Moesha. I feel like it's just so many shows that they just on these weird moments. I'm just like, come on, how y'all just gonna just cut them off like that?
They might can make the Wayans brothers into a drama now. If we just do a serious show about two brothers and their father, that could be done the right way. But the siblings, it would still have to be, I would need the people on the show to actually be siblings, because it's just something that you just can't pay people to do, to act like brother and sister, or brothers if they're not. Because me watching the Wayans brothers, me and my sister are like, because we're like close in age, my younger sister and I, we're literally 11 months apart. Well, our Irish twins. And like, our dynamics are like Sean and Marlon. Like, and it comes across, it would have to be that. I feel like they could turn that into a drama, but you would have to use actual siblings.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Some things you can't.
Yeah, some things you can't. I don't know about these reboots, but honestly, y'all, I wasn't even mad at when they finished off Full House, because they didn't redo Full House. They just finish the story. Like they make,
Mhm.
because here's the thing about TV. Well, for me, this is just my opinion. Sometimes when I immerse in a show, like when I really like it, like especially from like way back in the day, I do sometimes like really gravitate towards characters and be like, I wonder what would have happened to this character. Like, how did they end? Like, what was their ending story per se? You know what I'm saying? Like, I always wonder what happened to Whitley and Dwayne. Yes, she got pregnant, but then what? How did their kids look? How did this happen? Like, what happened here? Like,
What happened in Japan? You know, did Freddie and Ron stay together? I wanted to see Kim marry that Jamaican man. You know?
Okay, like it's just so many questions. You like just want to have this complete story of the iconic ones. You know what I'm saying? The ones that really, really stuck with you. And sometimes, you know, you don't get that. So when they do some of these things, you just want it to be right. Like I said, I had no problem with Fuller House. I thought it was actually pretty genius how they finished it, like how they gave us a glimpse into the future versus trying to redo something, because I'll never forgive them for redoing Charmed. Never forgive them for redoing Charmed.
That was a reimagining, you know.
Yes, that was a complete reimagining. That's the worst thing they ever did in life. I'm sorry. I know they were trying to connect with the younger people, but that show was so iconic and so great that all they had to do was time jump it. You as many times as they went into the damn future in that damn show. Stop playing with me right now. That's all they had to do.
That was horrible. I'm sorry. That's why I get kind of pissed off when I'll be like, okay, reboot, reimagine, spell up. Like sometimes we don't need it. Sometimes you can just leave stuff where it's at. Like I said, when they do it good, I give them the credit. But I feel like so many people are doing that now. It's like oversaturated. Like nobody's coming with just fresh ideas, child. Like can we get some fresh new ideas?
Get out.
Oh Lord.
Just get out.
Yeah. Fresh ideas would be great.
Yeah. When I want to see those other ones, then I go back and watch them. Okay, because I watch Living Single and some shit. I watch Golden Girls all the time.
Yeah, my comfort shows is TV sitcoms. I'm still regularly watching A Different World and Sister and Cosby Show and Girlfriends and Moesha and Fresh Prince.
Living Single, so many of them. Yeah.
And I would be okay if they gave them movies, like you said. Like movies are fine. Like if you gave us a movie with the same original people and we're just fast forwarding, like reliving some, you know what I'm saying? Like if we're fast forwarding into what happened to them after this, then I would be here for that. I think those would work out perfect. I just don't think we need reimaginations of a lot of stuff. Bel-Air, I feel like it's just one of those, is a unicorn. I don't know if they can really do
like
it.
The exception to the rule. They just really dipped in there and got in their bag.
Because even within that being a sitcom, they did have a lot of storylines that were very serious. Like because they had the storyline with Will and his issues with Lou. They had a storyline in there when Carlton Carlton took the speed. They had the storyline of Hillary grieving over Trevor. They had the storyline when Carlton got shot. They had the storyline when Lisa and Will made a U-turn from the altar. And Will trying to connect with his friends of the past, when Don Cheadle came on the show as Ashtray, and him, the family looking like, Will, I need you to separate yourself from hoodlum activities. There were, and the episode when Will and Carlton got arrested for driving while black.
They had a lot of them. Exactly.
What I mean?
Getting ready to paint that NIGG on the wall. Yeah, they had a lot. And that scene with Will and Lou, baby, that original one, honey, I don't care how many times I've seen it. It still gives me chills and it still make me tear up. I seen somebody share it the other day on damn TikTok and I started crying. It feels like the first time every time. Like those emotions just jump through the screen. And you want to hug him.
And you just want to give him a hug.
That they always had, that's why they did these little tidbits of things on the Fresh Prince, but it was a sitcom and it was on NBC, so they wouldn't let them dive completely in to some of these things, but that they were able to just touch on little things that matter for the culture. That's why Black sitcoms were so important, because they had a lot of cultural things. Different World had a lot of cultural things.
Oh,
like,
Different
embedded
World had
into
a
it.
ton of them. They talked
They-
about HIV before a lot of people wouldn't even touch it.
Touch it.
Exactly.
They did a lot of stuff.
They
Mhm.
talked about apartheid on the show,
Yeah.
and the race rights and stuff. Like they wasn't afraid to like step in those things, and showing that you can be a funny show, but shows that at the same time these are things that's happening in our real life, and we can put it out there, and we can say it's part of the culture. So I don't know if anybody's gonna top a reimagining like this. Like, this is at the
Real
this
talk.
is up there.
This is
y'all-
a high bar to
This was
be able
the-
to. This is like they have set the bar super high.
It is
Super
high. Like,
high.
they fired on all cylinders on this show. Like, they didn't miss. And you also got to have good people back. You got to have the people from the original backing it. Like, they had Will backing the show. They had DJ Jazzy Jeff backing the show. They had they had an opportunity that I feel like everybody from that original cast was on here. I'm not sure if Alfonso Ribeiro was, but I know everybody else was.
I think he was the only one that I don't remember seeing. I don't remember seeing him.
I don't remember seeing him, but they had both Aunt Vivian's. They had Tatiana Ali. They had the original Hillary. They had the original Jackie on the show. So, they had everybody like lay hands on the show and co-sign to say, this is a good show. We want to be part of it. And so, like I said, the bar is high. So if anybody else come in here, y'all got.
And I
some
feel
big
like
shoes.
if Uncle Phil had been around, I feel like he would have been a part of it too. I just feel like everybody, I think it was just so great that you couldn't help but want to just dive into it.
Yeah.
Why Alphonse wasn't in it, I can't say or don't know, but I wish he had been a part of it too. Just because I just feel like they reached back and it just let them know, like, yes, we appreciate this. Yes, we're passing the torch to you guys. Are doing an amazing job. Like, this is like, it just felt like they were giving their nod of approval. We even had Jeffrey G. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I feel that maybe the ones who didn't come, they didn't bad talk the show. Nobody spoke out in public to say they had issues with it. So they had good backing. So you got to have all that. And they had a lot of good directors of this show. Like, I always looked at the different people who was writing and directing the show. Amazing series. So
yeah, because they did include all of their names, like, and gave them a shout out, and definitely, the OG, rest in peace, to our original Uncle Phil and stuff like that. I wish Alfonso would have been there too. I felt like he was the missing link, but I definitely appreciated everybody else and us ending it off with, Will. And it felt kind of extra emotional to see the original Aunt Viv, because we know that they had, a gap in their relationship and it didn't end on good terms. And now she be out here like, if anybody say anything about Will, you're going to have to come through me. Like, it's good to know that they actually got to make amends with each other. And then have her.
I love their conversation they had.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody saw that conversation, but the conversation that they had was just a really nice conversation. And speaking of just reimaginations and spinoffs and stuff, I do like the fact, and the reason why I'm excited about the Different World thing, because that's like one of my favorite shows. And at first I was like, oh my God, don't mess up my favorite show. But one thing about it is that, Debbie is going to be a part of this, and a lot of the original people are going to be a part of it. And I think that that's going to make a big difference in it. And you have, none of the cast is saying anything about it. None of them are saying anything negative about it. So I think that, like, although this is a unicorn and it's in a reimagination world, I really hope we get another unicorn in the spinoff world. Like, I really want this spinoff to be great.
I definitely got confidence knowing Debbie Allen is there, because Debbie Allen turned around the original Different World when she came in. So I have all the confidence there. Yeah, Alfonso, he do kind of feel like he got stuck in that Carlton character too. So he does try to separate himself and do other things. I know he's spoken out about that, but still, I mean, you could have came in here and been, one of Noma's henchmen or something. You could have had a completely different. I get it though, but
I mean, look at G. G was G was out here being gangster for real.
Running a whole cartel.
Okay. And And can we just talk about the fact that they made Jeffrey gangster, like real gangster? Like, come on. Like, that was like the best
Yes.
twist on a
It
reimagination
really
ever.
was.
Right. Oh my goodness.
We out here gangs of London for real. I said, whoop.
Right. He like, I'll make you some tea and knock somebody's teeth out at the same time. Okay.
Okay.
Very good show.
Chef's
Thank y'all for hanging with us. We had close to 30 people almost the whole time. Y'all was rocking with us the whole time. And with all these people, y'all better have liked and subscribed to everybody's channel on the panel. All these people we see, I see you. I see you. So I need to see them likes and them subscribes on everybody's channel. Before we get up out of here, I'm gonna let everybody let y'all know what y'all need to be looking out for on their channels. EJ, what's going on both of them channels?
Yeah, so on TV Junkie, we're about to go live in the next couple of hours here to talk about episode 8 of The Family Business. So if you're watching The Family Business, please come hang out with us. We're going to have the panel on. And anything else on TV Junkie, just make sure you keep your notifications on. I'll probably be dropping a couple of videos over there. And then on Talk That Talk, we just finished up the last of All Is Fair. We did a live show over that. Please check that out. We dropped our reaction for Welcome to Derry. Welcome to Derry. Episode 4. We'll drop episode 5 next week. And then I guess we'll drop our last 2 the week after that, as the show has already wrapped up. And then, and if you're into Interview with a Vampire, please check out our reactions for Interview with the Vampire. It's Tika's first time watching, so it's really fun and funny to watch her watch it for the very first time. So definitely check those out. And then we had a couple of other things that we did over there on the channel. We also did an original documentary over D'Angelo. So please check that out as well. Love D'Angelo. And so we just wanted to do something nice. And we'll be dropping another one this month, but we'll be doing Waiting to Exhale. So I'm excited for that. So just make sure to turn your notifications on, y'all, and do all the things. We got a lot of stuff coming on that channel as well.
Thank you, EJ. Busy and booked. Tamika, what's going on in the den?
I'll be joining EJ later to talk family business. Ooh, child, we getting down to the get down, okay? And then tomorrow I think is Pluribus, and it'll be the season finale of Welcome to Derry with me and Monique 69 Ways. Oh Lord, my nerves is bad about that one. I think Inga's going tonight after the episode to talk about it. So if y'all not subscribed to her channel, go over there and subscribe to her. Go over and subscribe to Miss Kira Speaks. I don't know if she made it to 500 yet. We was trying to get her to 500 and beyond. Okay, go hit her up. And then y'all know Sisters Finale Child, the Oval. Every time I say that, I sound like I'm just dreading.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try to put up some other videos. You know, I haven't really been doing my own recaps. I've just been joining the conversations of it all. So I'm gonna try one of these days. Just keep your notifications on just in case, so you know when I do, and hit the like and subscribe on all the channels. And thank y'all for watching. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Make sure that y'all go subscribe to Candy's channel. She had to cut out early. I forgot exactly what she had going on this week, but I know for sure that, you know,
she's doing this tomorrow. Tuesday, me and her do the Oval. Wednesday, we do Sisters. I know that for sure.
Yeah. So definitely check those out, guys. Please, and thank you.
Yes. Wrapping up Welcome to Derry this week. Pluribus this week. Trying to do a theories video for Stranger Things to prepare for volume 2 next week, and I'll be back for Force this week. And y'all know, okay, I've been taking my precious time to get my Five Nights at Freddy's 2 review out, but I'm gonna do it. Okay, I done watched it twice. I'm just procrastinating on it. I'm gonna get it out though. I'm gonna get out there one of these days this week. It's coming. But thank you guys for joining us, and I'm glad you all enjoyed Bel Air. So did we. We had to take a minute for it because this is it. No more Bel Air. So thank you, Peacock. Thank you, Will Smith, for allowing your show to be reimagined, and the guy Morgan Cooper for sharing his ideas of a reimagining to the world. It was a really good series. And thank you to the panel for showing up here and talking Bel Air with us. And y'all gonna see us throughout the week. Again, hit your notification bell so you can see when Tamika drops stuff, when EJ drop stuff, when Candy drop stuff, when I drop stuff. Thank you all so much for being here. And we're going to see y'all in the next video.
I can put you in a log cabin somewhere in Aspen. Girl, ain't nothing to the pain, ain't tricking if you got it.
Go to the police, not now. He's made sure of that.
Put you in a
He's
mansion
out there and he's watching us.
somewhere in West
What are you waiting for, huh?
Like I said, ain't nothing to the pain. We can change the last name. What's happening? Cause you look so good. Tell me why you wanna work here. I put you on the front page of a King magazine, but you gon' get yourself hurt here. Hey, baby, I brought you in the back just to have a conversation. Really think you need some ventilation. Let's talk about you and me. Oh,
We
I
go
can't
from
believe it.
taking Kel to the hospital to catching a goddamn snake.
I think she want me. Nah, I can't leave her lonely. No, ooh, I can't believe it. Ooh, she out on me.
Lay low until he knows you're alone, and then he's gonna come after you.
Nah, I can't leave her lonely. No, and you don't understand. She made the people say yeah.
Abraham Whistler.
Yeah.